Zach LaVine also scored 21 in the Chicago victory. College hoops, a huge comeback for Notre Dame. The Irish rally from 21 down to beat Virginia Tech, 71-65. Round 2 of the ACC tournament in Brooklyn. DePaul lost to Marquette in the first round of the Big East basketball tournament at MSG. Kyle Schwarber a home run. Cubs over the Indians in Cactus play, while the White Sox beat the Reds 14-12 in a softball game. Blackhawks wrap up a 2-game homestand against the Hurricanes tonight. The news service of Shell get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell with the Fuel Rewards program. Start saving on your very first fill and continue to save on every fill every day. Download the Fuel Rewards app, join, and save 5 cents a gallon today. 5:07, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
5:10. Let's get an update on the early morning roads. And we do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Bring in Jim Talamonte for the latest. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. A lot of overnight road construction has cleared on the Kennedy Expressway inbound. The exit to Cumberland is now open again. It had been blocked. There were a couple of downtown entrance ramp closures. Everything is open again there. The express lane's process of reopening the inbound side. Edens is clear. Overnight work cleared on the spur. The Ike, Stevenson, and the Rhine all okay. But the outbound Rhine still has some morning construction. 87th split, 3 left lanes are closed. I-57, Bishop Ford still looking good. New delays to report on the tollways. A new round of road work kicks in later today on the tri-state at the north end. Southbound 2 lanes. 94 eastbound will close from Russell Road near the state line to 132 in Gurnee. And then northbound, starting at 7 tonight, 2 northbound lanes will close in that same area. No issues right now in northwest Indiana. Traffic service of TrueCar. Looking to buy a car? Online shopping can be confusing. Not anymore with True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know the exact price you'll pay for the car you want and see what other people paid for it too. If you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, chilly with partial sunshine, high 35. Patchy clouds tonight, cold with a low 22. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, high 39. And patchy clouds at night, low 24. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
25 at O'Hare, 23 along the lakefront. Next news coming up at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Lou Bridges Show. Get foreclosure defense solutions that may save your home. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So it's a declaration of war by California against the United States. So saith Governor Moonbeam, he's going to have to scramble those nerds in Silicon Valley, move them off developing social media apps and onto weapons systems, apparently, because Jeff Sessions has, this is no surprise, he sent letters to all the sanctuary city and state designees in the country, the Department of Justice has, saying, basically, we have a problem with you not complying with federal immigration law. And California has been a particular target of both Sessions and Homan, the ICE director. I wish they would turn their sights a little bit more to the center of the country, to a state known as the Land of Lincoln, which is precisely similarly situated to Illinois as it pertains to sanctuary state policy and sanctuary city policy in Chicago and other cities in this state. So I'd like Illinois to get in on the Sessions action, but
well, maybe he'll come here next.
I hope he does. Sessions was in California, and he delivered the boom.
How dare you? How dare you needlessly endanger the lives of our law enforcement officers to promote a radical open borders agenda?
And that was specifically with respect to the mayor of Oakland, who Sessions suggests, and the reason he suggested is because she said it, is aiding and abetting.
Well, they're warning. Oh, sorry.
Aiding and abetting the escape of criminals.
Right. They're warning them, like there's a raid coming, so you need to hide. And so Jeff Sessions took after her.
Her actions support those who flout the law and boldly validates illegality.
Yeah. Madam Mayor?
So here's my message to Mayor Schaaf. How dare you? How dare you needlessly endanger the lives of our law enforcement officers to promote a radical open borders agenda? But in California, we have bigger problems also. More than just one mayor.
So Sessions has taken a lot of heat over a range of issues, including from his boss, the President of the United States. But on this issue, he has been fairly definitive and I think appropriately aggressive, and he's ratcheting it up. That generates, of course, the response you would expect.
Oh, from Jerry Brown, who said this is just a publicity stunt?
I prefer Governor Moonbeam.
Okay.
This is really unprecedented for the chief law enforcement of the United States to come out to California and act more like Fox News than a law enforcement officer. This is a political stunt. It's more like Fox News and what's going on in Washington. And it's not about the truth. It's not about protecting our state. It's about dividing America.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just, don't you think it's the issue of federal law trumps state law? I mean, that's what Sessions said, and that's why he was there.
Federal law determines immigration policy. State of California is not entitled to block that activity. Somebody needs to stand up and say, no, you've gone too far. You cannot do this. This is not reasonable. It's radical, really.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. How do you like your Jeff Sessions now?
It's fun to see Jeff Sessions Jeff Sessions, tough guy.
Well, I mean,
but I love it.
And this is not exactly a newfound position for him. This is one of the reasons that he was one of the first member of Congress to endorse Trump, is because Trump was focused on illegal immigration, removing illegal immigrants from this country, and that's been a big issue for Sessions for some time, I think, dating back to when he was a federal prosecutor. But here's the thing, too. This is fun, isn't it? The newfound states' rightists in California.
Yeah.
Did they have the same position when the federal government, Department of Justice, sued the state of Arizona?
Right. It's exactly the same. I mean,
for the ID.
Flipped. Right. For the ID.
Yeah. That was okay, because federal government has supremacy on immigration when it comes to the federal government pursuing policies I like. When it comes to the federal government pursuing policies I don't like, well, then, of course, my philosophy changes. That's the left, and frankly, some on the right, too, the complete lack of consistency, the complete and utter hypocrisy. But Sessions is right, and let's remember something about Illinois to bring this local. By the way, Tucker Carlson last night, I heard, I hadn't seen it yet, but called Governor Rauner our fake Republican governor.
Oh.
And taking up this issue, just like he took up the city key ID last week. This is an increasingly a prominent issue in this election cycle. It will continue to be a nagging issue as we continue to get nothing done either on the law enforcement side or as it pertains to rethinking our legal regime governing immigration. But you have had people lose family members, people that have been murdered without any justice by people in this country illegally who shouldn't be here.
And Governor Rauner said he would meet with the victims' family members. He said that on national TV with Bret Baier, and he never did that.
That's right.
It's another slap in the face for the victims.
And, Jeannie Ives, running against him, has...
Did you say Jeannie Ives?
I did say that.
Did you say IvesForIllinois.com?
You said that. She has run a couple of commercials profiling these stories, in case you've forgotten. The story of Dennis McCann in Chicago, the story of Jeannie Brady in the Champaign area in Mahomet. Listen.
My wife was killed by an illegal alien who was driving drunk. The man was never taken into custody. It's a tragedy that there is no justice for her. I think the leadership of this state has let us down significantly. I don't see a place for Governor Rauner in the leadership of this state at all.
So is Eric Brady right? Has the leadership of the state let us down? Do you expect the leadership, if you maintain it, is going to reverse course and stop letting us down and stop essentially being dismissive of families like the Brady family in Mahomet, like the McCann family in Chicago, who saw a loved one killed?
They'd be so different if one of their loved ones was killed by somebody here illegally.
And then
we would be living in a different world.
Well, and it's not just that they were killed by someone who shouldn't have been here. It's then that person, because of our sanctuary policies at the city, county, state level, that person fled. There's no justice. The person who killed Dennis McCann is in Mexico, and the McCann family knows it, and there's nothing they can do about it. And the person who killed Jeannie Brady in Mahomet.
Yeah, where's
she?
My kids saw that commercial and they were wondering, well, what happened?
She was coming home from bartending at night at the local VFW.
Oh, that's awful.
So that guy was from Guatemala, and nobody knows where he is, and there's nothing that the Brady family can do about it. And worse of all that, there's nothing that the civilian political leadership of this state cares to do anything about. Bill in Kalamazoo, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. I just love how irony is going to smack the left, because if you remember during the Obama administration, Arizona passed laws to try to assist the federal government in their immigration issues. Supreme Court ruled that it's the sole purview of the federal government. Now you have states like Illinois, California, Washington that are passing laws inhibiting the federal government from doing just that. They can't have it both ways.
No, that's exactly right. Thanks, Bill. The other Bill in the north suburbs.
Hey, how are you this morning?
Oh,
Weeze is good.
And I'm going to the Jules after work today.
The second biggest city in Illinois is Aurora, less than 200,000 people. Chicago runs the whole state.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks
that's
for the
it.
call, Bill. Appreciate it. Got it.
And that's why I feel sorry for our farmers and families and friends down south of I-80 that have to pay for our politicians' sins.
I got some good news for you.
What?
They're leaving, so you don't have to worry about them anymore.
Okay.
Grant in Rockford.
Hey, good morning, guys. Amy, you can feel sorry for those of us out west, too. Chicago doesn't. But
Yeah.
anyway, those that rip on Jeff Sessions, I believe him to be the tortoise in this whole legal race. Everybody rips on him for not doing this, not doing that. I believe that he gets all of his legal ducks in a row to make sure that the left can't pull some squirmy little legal crap and get out of it like they seem to do all the time. He's got investigations in the uranium one going. He's got I truly believe the man is doing well. It's just people are impatient and these things take time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Grant. And also, Jeff Sessions looks a little bit like a tortoise.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I can see where Grant would think that. Jordan in Forest Park.
Southern strong.
Morning, Dan and Amy. From what I understand, under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution, the federal government cannot force a state to act on their behalf. However, if federal funds are involved, and the federal funds are specifically linked to a certain criteria, such as not acting as a sanctuary city or state,
Yeah, that's right.
they could actually remove those federal funds. They would not be able to go. But right now, it's ambiguous, and if it's ambiguous, they can't do anything about the federal funds.
Thanks for the call, Jordan. Ed in Oak Brook.
Yeah, you know what? If Amy's so impressed with Sessions for just writing a letter, and I agree with Governor Moonbeam, it's really just a fake. What he should do is actually start arresting these mayors and councilmen or whoever that are abetting these illegal immigrants. That would impress me. And another point, what flag, when these Clinton states rebel, are they going to use the Confederate flag, or what flag are they going to be
I guess
using?
the Golden
Order
Bear of
rebellion?
California. Yeah, thanks for the call, Ed. And I agree with the idea. This is something Tom Homan, the ICE director, has leveled up. The idea of actually pursuing criminal sanctions against politicians. Wouldn't that be interesting? Kevin Rooney tweets, what's sad is that though I agree with the California move, Sessions still comes off as Matlock's paint chip eating cousin. And he and he only did it to save his job. We need that second special counsel. I think that's unfair to Jeff Sessions.
Yes.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
If you still haven't purchased the very best pillow, of course I'm talking about MyPillow, the 4-pack deal is back. So I strongly urge you to go online or call now to make sure you take advantage of this great deal. A great night's sleep is so important, so give yourself the gift of a great night's sleep by ordering a MyPillow. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. I love that I can move the fill to get the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or side. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. And MyPillow is made in America, washable and dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Amy Jacobson here to tell you about an amazing weight loss product. It's called Calitrin, and I received an email from a good friend and a viewer of the show who said, Amy, I don't know what you're doing, but you look amazing. I'm curious, are you using that diet product? Does it work? Here with more is Elizabeth to tell us exactly how it works, because you have lost a significant amount of weight.
Yes, I've lost 40 pounds with it. I've kept it off for over 2 years now. But the cool thing about Calitrin is it's different than every other weight loss product out there. I think people are used to the stimulant products. They make you feel sick and jittery, and then of course you gain all the weight back after you get off of them. But Calitrin is actually good for you. Now, it's not a quick fix. You're not going to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. It's not overnight weight loss, but you will see results, and you're going to keep that weight off for good because you're doing it the right way through revving up your metabolism naturally.
How can we order Calitrin?
Go to toploss.com. That's TOPLOSS.com. And don't forget to use promo code Amy. That's going to save you 10% on your order today. Again, that's toploss.com.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Ronald Reagan wisely said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same."
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit automatedsys.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
Over a half century ago, a respected firearms store started as a hobby to Mike Schrank. It now serves generations of customers. Of course, it's Schrank's Smoke and Gun. Customers love the family atmosphere and the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, including pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and even older functioning hunting rifles. Their on-site gunsmith services from simple cleaning to major repairs. Whether you're thinking about your first firearm or looking to add to your collection, visit Schrank's Smoke and Gun. And cigar lovers, you'll find your favorites in Schrank's humidors along with quality pipe tobacco. Visit smokethelettern.gun.org or call 847-662-4034. And check Facebook and Instagram for all the current specials on firearms, ammo, and cigars. Take a quick drive north to save on Cook County firearm and ammo taxes at Schrank's Smoke and Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, I hate it when the ladies fight. Mayor Emanuel calls out Governor Rauner on gun control.
That's going to be a very difficult wine club meeting coming up.
Exactly.
And Ted Cruz and Joe Scarborough debate guns. Brutal. 538.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
24 degrees. We're watching New England this morning get hit with another nor'easter. That region still recovering from last week's deadly storm. It will probably cause more flight delays from the Midwest, O'Hare, even flights from Atlanta being bottled up this morning. President Trump and video game executives will meet today. Last month's deadly mass shooting in Florida prompting that meeting. A Missouri shootout that left a police officer dead was the result of police going to the wrong house. Clinton officer Christopher Morton died Tuesday after a gunfight involving dozens of officers. It started after a 911 dispatcher took a call where two women could be heard screaming and sent police to a residence in Clinton. Turns out that 911 call came from a home about 20 miles away. Florida high school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz is being formally charged with 17 counts of murder. The indictment handed down by a grand jury for the Valentine's Day massacre at Stoneman Douglas High. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos met with children at that Florida high school and said it's time to act to make schools more secure.
There are solutions that can be engaged immediately, and there are some common sense steps that can be taken. We just need to make sure that we do them, not just talk about them.
Meantime, a new bill in Florida raises the minimum age limit for buying a gun from 18 to 21. The head of the Forest Service is accused of sexual misconduct, and he's out. Forest Service Chief Tony Took announced his immediate retirement last night. The Agriculture Department, which runs the Forest Service, said last week it had brought in an independent investigator to look into allegations the Forest Service had a pervasive culture of sexual harassment. Well, it's not something mom and dads want to hear. Thousands of cheerleaders and their backers may be at risk for the mumps after a national competition in Texas last month. The National Cheerleaders Association All-Star National Championship brought competitors from 39 states and 9 countries to Dallas. Among those, a person with the mumps. Cook County judge ordering Mayor Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson to testify in the wrongful death lawsuit brought by the families of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones. Johnson will be deposed next week. An investigation is underway after 2 men were wounded following overnight shootings in Robbins. The FBI investigating following allegations that a former Dixmoor mayor took bribes working as a consultant for Harvey Mayor Eric Kellogg. Former Vice President Joe Biden coming to Northwestern. The ex-U.S. Senator from Delaware is scheduled to speak at the university's Kellogg School of Management. Bulls over the Grizzlies, 119-110. College hoops, big comeback win for Notre Dame in the ACC tournament. They rally from 21 down to beat Virginia Tech 71-65. The news is a service of Shell. Get the feeling of being rewarded with gold status at Shell with the Fuel Rewards program. Start saving on your very first fill and continue to save on every fill every day. Download the Fuel Rewards app. Join and save 5 cents a gallon today. 5:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes we're living in crazy times.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York doesn't like the president's recent judicial appointment because he's white. Honest to goodness,
we are so crazily down the rabbit hole.
I just hope and pray for my country that we will somehow, someday, come back to some sense of normalcy and reality and common sense.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-519-7796. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-519-7796.
5:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound Ryan Expressway at 79th Street crash. 3 left lanes are blocked. The car on its side there is causing big backups on the Ryan and on Bishop Ford and I-57. Bishop Ford delays start around 111th. 35 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. And then on the Ryan, it's 30 minutes from 95th to downtown. So it's heavy from the merge to 79th. Also slow Canalport into downtown Chicago. I-57, 18 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. And that Ryan travel time 30 minutes, 95th to downtown once you get to 95th. The Edens is fine, Kennedy as well. Inbound Eisenhower, slow in pockets between Manheim and Des Plaines Avenue. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound still fine at 29. Stevenson, 38 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Toys look good. 80-94 eastbound at Torrance Avenue in Lansing. A report of a truck fire. Traffic service of TrueCar. Looking to buy a car? Online shopping can be confusing. Not anymore with True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know the exact price you'll pay for the car you want and see what other people paid for it too. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Chilly day ahead, partial sunshine, high 35. Currently 24. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
Joe Walsh here. There are reports that Republicans want to push gun control in Congress next week. If they do that, they won't be in control of Congress next year. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. I want to get to Cruz and Scarborough. Cruz exercising Jobian-like patience with Joe Scarborough. You'll hear that in a second. But look, I appreciate when people call the show who disagree with me, because most people are cowards and they want to just be safe with their fact-free opinions, and they don't want to challenge them and certainly challenge them on air and have a discussion. And I like that. I like to go back and forth. That's why I'm debating Donna Brazile. I like to go back and forth with people who disagree with me.
Do you like to watch, too, like President Trump?
No.
He said he likes when people go back and forth, and I like to watch.
I like to watch Firing Line. You got to finish that, what you like to watch. Because it can be construed a lot of different ways.
Yes, it can.
And that's why I'm going to take Casper before we go on to Cruz and Scarborough. Casper, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, Dan.
Good morning,
Amy.
Hi.
Always enjoying your show, Dan. I would like to ask you what you think is the goal and the achievement of this press conference of Mr. Magoo. And I will give you two picks that for you. Okay. Do you think the goal and the achievement was to fix the legal issue, or just to show in the TV and lose the time of everybody? And maybe one achievement could be that it get very busy your phone line with all the hearers and all that stuff. Do you think that's the achievement that he got?
Well, thank you for your question, Casper. I would say that the purpose was to make it clear that the federal government takes federal immigration law seriously, and it's not going to let the mayor of Oakland or the governor of California or anybody else jeopardize law enforcement. Wait, I'm not done, Casper. Jeopardize law enforcement any more than law enforcement is already put in harm's way on a daily basis by not cooperating with federal agents when it comes to removing criminals who are here illegally from this country, which I assume you support.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. But do you think his work is to fix problems? You don't think that's his work?
Well, that's his job. Yes, is to fix problems.
And Casper,
and to enforce the law. Yeah,
Casper, he was in Casper. Listen up. He was in California yesterday. You know, people thought it was a publicity stunt. He was there to announce a federal lawsuit against the state of California. So, in these so-called sanctuary policies that prohibit some cooperation between federal and immigration enforcement and local.
It's not fixing anything.
Well, it's
not fixing anything because if this government wants to fix something, you must do something with the employers. because
Okay.
that's the root of the problem.
Okay.
And this government is not doing anything about it. You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because if you got of these employers to cut the work of these people, you will hurt this economy. And you know it. 11 million people, if you take his job from this economy, you will hurt this economy. So this government is doing exactly the same thing that Bush and Clinton and Reagan did before the...
What about Obama? You
before.
skipped over Obama.
Yeah, Obama, Clinton.
Okay.
I
Well,
mentioned Clinton.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing, Casper. You raise a legitimate point about employers, but remember what we're talking.
No. My point is
Well,
they don't want to fix anything.
No,
They
I
are
got
using like you. They are using the issue just for propaganda.
No, so-
to get busy lines.
So, Casper-
to make votes for them. Everybody, even Democrats, are doing the same.
So, Casper-
and that's the problem. Nobody wants to really fix the problem.
Casper, I heard
That's
you.
the
I heard
problem.
you. I heard you twice the first time. I got it. Nobody wants to fix the problem, and they're not
No.
going after employers. And if they went after employers,
Everybody
that would
wants to leave.
wait. Can I? And if they went
What's the problem?
and if they went after employers, that would show they're serious. But they won't do that because it would hurt the economy. I have your argument. What I'm saying here is, with respect to California, we're specifically talking about people in this country illegally who have committed crimes, and you have public officials in California intervening on behalf of the accused criminals and against federal law enforcement. So that's a very narrow issue in the larger realm of immigration policy, and that's what Sessions is focused on. But I appreciate the call. Thank you, Casper. See, that was a good discussion.
Yeah, that was great.
See, don't be afraid to call in and disagree with Amy. She's nice. So Morning Joe.
Oh,
You know
boy.
Morning Joe.
What are their names? Jinka? What's her name? Mika,
Oh, yeah.
Jim-
Jika. Or is
no,
it
Meek Joe.
Mo? Jika. You got that's your two
you know, like,
choices.
yeah, if Dan and Amy, it's Damie.
Yeah.
If it's Jennifer
Jika.
and Ben, it's
What-
Jen.
how do you do it? It's Jika, right?
No, somebody had it once and I forgot.
Well, in case you've never seen
I pulled the muscle in my brain again.
in case you're living a productive life and you've never bothered to watch Morning Joe because you don't want to do intellectual violence to yourself, let me just give you a flavor of it.
Okay, here's what I want to say.
Yeah,
Don't stop
go
me. The
ahead.
president
I'm
is
not gonna-
mentally ill.
Well,
He has entered a state of psychosis.
Mika, you're being naughty.
Here's what I want to
Okay,
say.
you're being very naughty.
When am I being naughty?
Yeah, you're being real naughty. You are being real naughty.
Why don't
Maybe
you
you need
stop?
someone to punish you
Am
for
I
being
being a
naughty.
bad journalist? I'm a bad journalist?
You're not a bad journalist. You're a bad kitty.
So that gives you Morning Joe's a comedy show.
Yeah, because they're engaged now. They both were married when the show started, then they both got divorced and they're engaged.
And-
Don't know when the big wedding day is, though.
And if you think that's a parody of Morning Joe, it's not.
Just watch Morning Joe.
I'll prove it.
Okay.
Ted Cruz on with Jika yesterday to talk about guns. And Ted Cruz is a constitutional lawyer. He was the Solicitor General of Texas. He argued cases before the Supreme Court as his job until becoming a U.S. Senator. Just remember that backstory. And so it begins with Mike Barnacle, who's one of their
He's a sidekick. I mean, well, he's a political analyst.
part of the ensemble
Yeah.
cast in this comedy show that they do.
He plays the drums in the band.
Asking the question that you've suggested, Amy, which is some states an 18-year-old can buy an assault rifle, quote unquote assault rifle, but not buy a handgun. Is that right?
Senator, I have a gun safety question for you. Do you think it makes any sense at all, common sense here being the determining factor, that in some states an 18-year-old is allowed to buy an assault rifle but is not allowed to buy a handgun?
You know, look, I think different states have different laws, and I think actually that question, if you want to ask common sense, what we ought to be asking is what actually stops violent crime. You know, back in the 1990s under Bill Clinton, we had a so-called assault rifle ban. That was in effect for a number of years, then it expired. The Department of Justice studied that so-called ban, found it had no statistically significant effect on violent crime. It's a great Democratic talking point.
And that's about it. And we've talked about this in some detail about the relative infrequency of the use of rifles in these mass shootings and in the commission of violent crimes in general, compared to handguns, compared to brute force. But then it spun off the rails when the J of JICA got involved. Because here's how he does interviews. He asks a question and then interrupts you with his answer to his own question.
Oh, the kind of the Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Interview technique.
Even worse, though.
Really?
And even with a smaller base of knowledge. This is Joe Scarborough.
Former congressman of Florida.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying for context.
Yeah, that's right.
A congressman is going up against a senator.
Well, but it's the background. Yeah. And he is lecturing Ted Cruz on constitutional law and how the Supreme Court works and what the Supreme Court's denial of cert in a particular case actually means.
But you know, though, that every American doesn't have a constitutional Second Amendment right to carry an AR-15.
Let me
yes or no?
I'm not going to debate that. The courts, the courts will assess it.
No, but the courts have assessed it.
No, they haven't. That's not what a denial of cert means. The court often, on an area of constitutional litigation, will let the federal courts of appeals, they call it percolating, which is to let them debate it back and forth. And a denial of cert has no presidential impact.
Senator, there are a lot of people, lawyers right now, that are rolling their eyes at what you're saying because this percolation has been going on for 10 years.
That's not unusual. And remember, my career was litigating before the Supreme Court. So actually, this is not an uncommon thing. I recognize that's not what you do, but the court denies cert.
Wait, I don't need you to lecture me on what the Supreme Court does and what it doesn't.
Actually, you do.
If the Supreme Court denies cert time and time again, and they have since 2010, and they've allowed Connecticut's laws to stand in place that actually ban assault-style weapons. So right now, the court is sitting back, and they are allowing that to remain in place and allowing that. That is constitutional right now. There is not a constitutional right, and you know it. And you can talk down to me all you want to, but you know there is not a constitutional...
Joe, who's talking down to whom? You say lawyers are rolling their eyes at me. I mean, let's just be clear.
Because you said this is what you do. I understand it's not what you do, Joe, but I do understand this. Even a dumb country lawyer like me understands that an AR-15 today is not recognized as a constitutional right of Americans under the Second Amendment. Is that right or wrong?
Actually, under the test that the Supreme Court laid out in Heller, whether an instrument of defense is in common and popular usage, the AR-15 is one of the most popular and common weapons in the United States. Under the test of Heller, it is clearly protected.
And it just goes on with Scarborough continuing to repeat his same contention that it's owning an AR-15 is not a constitutional right, and lecturing Ted Cruz on what the Supreme Court's denial of cert means. It's sort of an ancillary point to begin with that Joe is making, and then he makes it incorrectly. So that gives you a flavor of the show.
Right. It's off the rails.
Understand, and Ted Cruz went on to explain this to Joe when he could get in a word in edgewise. In that 2-minute clip we just played, Joe Scarborough spoke for 1:45 of it. That's not an interview.
No, that's spewing your opinions.
And interrupting a guy who you're attempting to solicit an answer from. No, it isn't. And I'm not going to let you explain because I want to disagree with you again by restating my position. A nice technique. Of course, Mika was nowhere to be found to moderate this, or Barnacle or anybody else. Here's the thing, and Cruz made this point for people who don't, are not steeped in this, and I'm not talking down to anybody, it's just people don't know. The Supreme Court, to Scarborough's point, yes, they have not weighed in on the ban on certain assault rifles, quote-unquote assault rifles in Connecticut. But his point is this case hasn't ripened to the point where the Supreme Court has granted cert to take it. And often the Supreme Court waits until there are strongly divided opinions at the appellate court level before they will take up a case on point to adjudicate the matter and determine its constitutionality. How long did it take for us to get to Heller with the declaration that the Second Amendment is an individual right? A long time. To Ted Cruz's point, the idea that there has been case law at the lower court level for the last decade is no big deal to the Supreme Court. They're on no clock, and the Supreme Court gets about 8,000 applications for cert, meaning for review at the Supreme Court level, 8,000 applications a year. They take
well, how many?
1% of those. So Scarborough is wrong to hyperventilate about this issue in the first place, and then he's wrong on the substance of the issue. That's the Morning Joe Show. Greg in Schaumburg.
Okay, Dan, you've got enough to do already, but this is a show that you must start doing, and it's called Shredding Liberals. Why do we always have conservative talk shows reviewing liberal idiocy? So let's do a show starring Dan Proft, brilliant in every single way, taking these liberals, shredding them, so then we can put you on the liberal show.
All right, thanks for the call, Greg. I'll put you in touch with my agent.
You've been on WTTW. I'm sorry, didn't your agent pass away?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, my gosh.
His brother picked me up. You'll be happy.
Oh, did he?
Happy to know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're in good hands.
Because his brother, his brother wants the 10% now.
Oh, exactly.
So yeah, imagine, yeah.
But you've been on WTTW and you've been on Windy City Live.
Yeah, City Club this week. That was fun. Yeah. No,
Liberal Junctions.
I welcome it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's why the Donna Brazil thing on March 22nd should be big fun too.
Oh, and where can we get our tickets?
I don't know. To the website. 560answer.com/beyond.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Jeannie Ives might be Mike Madigan's favorite Republican. The Madigan machine has bankrolled Ives with thousands of dollars in shady labor union cash, turning Jeannie Ives into another Mike Madigan lackey. Listen to Ives defend Madigan.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook. Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Instead of attacking Madigan's corrupt ways like Bruce Rauner, Jeannie Ives defends Madigan.
He's picking on Mike Madigan again. He's picking on Mike Madigan again.
Ives won't even commit to immediate repeal of the Madigan income tax hike.
You need legislator approval to repeal that, obviously, so you'd have to have them decide to do that, to repeal it, right? I can't guarantee what the legislator is going to send me in the bill.
Jeannie Ives, guaranteed to defend and defer to Mike Madigan.
I don't think that's any way to deal with the powerful Speaker of the House, Mike Madigan.
Paid for by Citizens for Rauner, Inc.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future?
No.
Darn.
When it comes to your home, nothing's more important than your roof. Everything underneath depends on it, right? Even if it's not leaking yet, you know it's important to be proactive and repair or replace it before you have a problem. And in Chicagoland, the decision to call Best Deal Inc. first is a no-brainer. For nearly 2 decades, Best Deal has delivered great service and beautiful roofs, as well as the best deal. By dealing directly with owners Greg and Dan, you'll get the absolute best deal anywhere because Best Deal maintains zero stock or warehousing, so there's no overhead to pass on to you. Best Deal uses the highest quality materials and latest, highest tech equipment. And their skilled tradesmen will complete your job on time and to your satisfaction. So if a new or repaired roof is on your list this spring, don't hesitate to get the best roof deal. Call licensed, bonded, and insured Best Deal today for your free estimate at 877-77-BEST-D or visit bestroofdeal.com. That's 877-77-BEST-D or online at bestroofdeal.com.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
5:57 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound ride at 79th. The major wreck has just cleared out of the way. We had 3 left lanes blocked. The traffic damage is done. Inbound Bishop Ford, just a solid mess from 115th up to the ride at 79th Street. 55 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. And then the ride from 95th to downtown is 35 minutes. I-57 is effective too, 25 minutes. I-80 to the ride. Eden still good. Kennedy, 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 21. Eisenhower, 36 minutes. 390 to the Circle. Outbound 30. Stevenson, 40 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Eastbound Adams Tollway heavy approaching Kennedy. Traffic. Service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple. You can understand the details. Be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 3030. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues with Dan and Amy after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A partly sunny day with a high 35, patchy clouds for the night, low 22. Partial sunshine tomorrow with a high 39 and patchy clouds at night, low 24. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy, high 42 and a low 29. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
25 at O'Hare, the news service of Walgreens looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. 5:59, here are the stories we're following this morning on AM 560, The Answer. Cook County judge is ordering Mayor Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson to testify in the wrongful death lawsuits brought by the families of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones. Authorities have identified the pregnant woman killed this week when a wheel hub came loose from a semi-tractor trailer near Joliet. The lost hub smashed through the windshield of Melinda Cullen's vehicle and killed her and her unborn son. The graduate student strike at the University of Illinois changing locations. Students now setting up their sit-in at U of I President Tim Killeen's office in the Urbana campus. Bulls sunk the Grizzlies 119-110 at the United Center. Kyle Schwarber a home run and a Cubs spring win over the Indians, while the White Sox beat the Reds 14-2. Chilly with partial sunshine today. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Will some countries be exempt? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the question at the White House, where President Trump was supposed to sign the order today imposing tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, but details are still being ironed out. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says there may be national security exemptions for certain countries like Canada and Mexico.
That would be a case-by-case and country-by-country basis.
Sanders defending the tariffs plan as more than 100 House lawmakers are urging the president to reconsider on concerns over a trade war.
He feels like the United States has been taken advantage of for far too long.
White House trade advisor Peter Navarro told the Fox Business Network that Canada and Mexico could be exempted permanently if they agree to a fair NAFTA deal. Dave.
Rachel, Florida's governor is reviewing the bill state lawmakers have passed 3 weeks after the Parkland High School massacre. He does not support the provision allowing school districts consider arming some teachers. Andrew Pollack's daughter was among the 17 murdered. He's urging the governor to sign it.
But make no mistake, I'm a father
and I'm on a mission.
A 17-year-old girl shot dead at her high school in Alabama yesterday. A 17-year-old boy also injured. Police are calling it accidental. They're not saying who brought the gun or how it was fired in Birmingham. It's back to court today for Paul Manafort. The former Trump campaign chairman will be arraigned in Virginia on tax evasion and bank fraud charges coming out of the special counsel's Russia investigation. Another ex-Trump campaign official, Corey Lewandowski, will face questions in private today in the House Intelligence Committee's Russia probe.
Lewandowski spent several hours with the committee in January, though committee Democrats complained the former campaign manager refused to answer some questions about events after he left the campaign.
Fox's Jared Halpert. In the Northeast, they're digging out from the storm that dumped 2 feet of snow in some areas, Pennsylvania up to Maine. Train and bus and plane travel still disrupted. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses lost power. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazile will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazile. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by AM Woodland Outdoor Design.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. bankonyourself.com.
Blue Star medicated ointment works fast to relieve the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
It's amazing. It's like as soon as you put it on, you can feel it working. We've had Blue Star in the family for years. It works on everything.
I love the cooling sensation on my athlete's foot.
What a relief for my eczema.
Nothing worked on my dry, cracked skin until I tried Blue Star.
Blue Star is great for scalp itch.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
Ricardo Muti and the Chicago Symphony Orchestra return to Wheaton College Friday, March 16th at 7:30 for a program including Haydn Symphony No. 89 and Mozart's celebrated string Sinfonia Concertante featuring violist Paul Neubauer and CSO concertmaster Robert Chen. Seen and Heard International says Chen gives an intense and impassioned performance in a work that is virtuosically demanding, and the result is a powerful experience. Tickets start at $45. For tickets, visit cso.org.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do, and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart. Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We have to get to this creative way to discipline an unruly child, but
it's fantastic.
A little potpourri here as we're less than 2 weeks away from an election. How about
really? It's less than 2 weeks?
And today's March 8th. Primary is March 20th.
You do the math.
Exactly. Simple as that. Bill in the Chicagoland area. It's General.
Hey, good morning, guys. Dan and Amy, love your show. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So my call is in regards to the recent talk. Basically all the talk that's being the revolving discussion here is the corruption of politicians. Totally in agreement with you guys, and I was listening yesterday. My question would be to, both of you, who do we vote for? And then also the second part would be, Dan, if you're not willing to run, which we would love to have you as one of our representatives in office.
Oh, I know.
Can you
Thank you.
Can you groom someone that you deem worthy and then let us know about that individual so that we can look into them?
I'm grooming Amy every day.
I'm going to hang up and listen to the rest
Thanks
of the show.
for the call, Bill. Well, in terms of who you should vote for, start at the top. And
Jeannie Ives, IvesForIllinois.com.
There it is. Unsolicited. Yeah. You have to get the executive leadership of the state right, and we haven't done that in my lifetime. So I'd like to see us try, just for the novelty of it. Bruce Rauner's not in charge. Bruce Rauner is Benedict Rauner. He's betrayed conservatives on every issue, fiscal and moral. And fiscal issues are moral issues, but in terms of how the hoi polloi thinks about these things. If you're not going to hold your party accountable, if the platform means nothing to you, if the positions you say you hold are so easily discarded for the promise of money, then what are we doing? What's the point? There is none. There is none. So Jeannie Ives, and then, depending on where you are in the suburbs, I would have recommendations for state legislative offices. But, Amy, is there anybody else that you would like to flag for? I know you've sort of fallen in a bit of deep like with Chris Kennedy lately.
I have. I'm Chris Kennedy. He was down in the polls, and now he's tailing J.B. Pritzker, and I absolutely do not want the big man to win.
And that is not a fun job, tailing J.B. Pritzker.
Well, you can draft off him.
Yeah. No, you definitely can hitch your wagon to him.
Street.
You're just going to not move at a particularly quick pace.
I'm pulling a Republican ballot.
Yeah.
The only reason why I want to pull a Democratic ballot, though, is to get Joe Barrios out of there.
What do you mean? He's going to take on the NRA from the assessor's office and ban assault weapons.
I have never laughed so. These campaign commercials are off the rails this time around. I mean, Joe Barrios, what is he doing taking on the NRA?
It's what he's doing is telling you.
Yes.
Telling all of us.
That we're stupid, and if you think that the county assessor's office has anything to do with gun control, you're off. Speaking of gun control, though,
That's
yesterday,
exactly what he's doing.
The ladies were fighting. 2 members of the Chicago Wine Club. Mayor Emanuel, he was at the same media event as Governor Rauner, and he wants him to sign this gun control bill, which is making gun dealers have a license, and they have to pay $1,000 a year or every 5 years.
We're talking about federally licensed gun dealers to begin with. They are licensed. Nobody's a gun dealer,
randomly.
That is not in compliance with federal law.
Hot dog stand.
We talked to Todd Vandemine, who reps the Illinois Gun Owners Association, their trade association. Look, these are all licensed, law-abiding businesses. And what this new legislation would do is create an administrative body with unlimited rulemaking power. It could lead to a gun registry. That's a real possibility, and don't think that they're not interested in it, particularly the sponsors of the bill. And it could put a lot of these licensed, legitimate gun businesses out of business, like Article 2 and Lombard and the myriad gun shops around the state. That's what this would do.
Well,
and so this is the point.
And so Mayor Emanuel, he didn't, meet him face to face, but he had this blue envelope, Dan, and it said on top of it, Governor Rauner, for you.
I understand you have a primary election, but you have a primary responsibility to the people of the state of Illinois and their safety.
I thought you'd like that.
Sign the bill. Sign it immediately. You can run, but you cannot hide.
And honestly, they are 20 feet from each other.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It was so ridiculous. And then Governor Rauner, when the media came to him, he started like, because he gets nervous. He doesn't seem comfortable in his own skin,
because he's about to lie and he's about to dodge. And that's what he's doing on this legislation. He will not tell people where he is. He is waiting till after the primary to sign the bill. That's what he's going to do. It's the final betrayal of the final constituency group within the Republican Party, which is frankly crossing over to the Democrats, which is gun owners. That's what that's what's going to happen.
You're to hear his response. So the reporters asked him, "How do you feel?"
I look forward to working with the mayor and all of our elected officials on a bipartisan basis to get good changes to keep our people safer. We also should come together on something I think we can all agree on, and that is banning bump stocks. I believe we can all agree on that, and we should get that done.
Now, can you stop asking me questions? And then he left after he took the envelope and he walked out.
What is there to work with the mayor on?
Nothing.
The legislation is on your desk. What is there to work with in a bipartisan fashion? You're the governor. I mean, I know you're not in charge.
Well, don't tell him that.
You're the governor. So what are you going to do? I'm gonna misdirect. I want to talk about bump stocks, and I want to spew the same pablum you hear from politicians of both parties forever in this state about working in a bipartisan fashion to fleece you. That's the subtext, to fleece you. So, I mean, unfortunately, they don't listen to our show. That's how they're so ill-informed, these Rauner voters.
Well, the governor has 60 days to decide whether or not to sign the bill, which is long past our primary.
So, understand what he's doing. He is going to sign this bill. He is going to jeopardize your individual Second Amendment rights. He is going to empower administrative regulatory bodies to put gun shops out of business. Maxons and Desplaines and all Rinks and Lamont and all of the gun ranges that you enjoy, gun shops that you go to.
What about Shrink Smoking Gun?
All of them are going to be negatively impacted by this legislation. That's why the ISRA, Illinois State Rifle Association, NRA, is putting out alerts on the topic. That's what he's going to do if he is still in the game on March 21st. If he's the nominee on March 21st, I'll bet you dollars to donut he signs that bill. And then
if he's not the nominee, do you think? I think he'll still sign it.
Why? He's a lame duck then. Maybe he could actually
still sign to appease to the Democratic Party, which he's going to join.
Oh, the only chance you have is that he may actually take his stones out of his wife's purse and do something consistent with who he said he was. The only chance you have is to relieve him of his office and the possibility of retaining it. Because if it's about trying to navigate, trying to position to win, why do you think he betrayed on all these other issues? Yeah, I know his wife calls him and her social justice warriors, and she certainly is. He's amoral and transactional. He's expedient. And it turns out, as I've mentioned before, just like Rahm Emanuel, the politicians who's expedient, who is unprincipled, it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time before they knife you on what they said they would do. When it becomes too politically difficult to do the right thing, they will fold because they are without character, because they are without courage. This is not that difficult to follow along. Paint by numbers here. So if you are interested in continuing to enjoy gun rights in this state as we have to this point, and the options for that enthusiasm, then you got to consider what he's going to do. And this is why the ISRA and the NRA are putting pressure on him right now to veto the legislation, because they know what he's doing. They know that he's playing the four-corner stall. And so he's playing politics with your rights and people's lives and livelihoods. Is there anything more clear about this? Just like with the Quincy Veterans Home, just like with Sanctuary State, just like with taxpayer funding of abortion. I mean, how much evidence do you need? How much evidence do people need? I really want to know. We can't get a Ronner supporter to call in here.
312-642-5600.
You know why? Because they're all the party establishment, men and women of always. And they won't call in here because they don't have an argument. They have an interest.
Yeah, why don't they show us their check?
That's the interest. That's the
check
interest.
I received from Governor Ronner.
There's no arguments for Ronner. There are only interests. And that's what you hear within this bubble of the Republican primary electorate. So what kind of person are you going to be? What kind of party are you going to affiliate with if you're otherwise affiliated with the Republican Party in this state? Mike on the north side.
Hey, Mike.
Mike on the north side. Yeah.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Gun control laws don't work. Putting stickers on buildings and making more laws that you're not going to enforce is not going to help anything. Commander Bauer was killed by a four-time offender who should have been put away for life. It's like making more gun laws and taking guns away from law-abiding citizens to stop gun crime is like taking cars away from sober drivers to stop drunk driving. It's not going to work. To put it in simpler terms, Amy, it's pablum for the masses. It's a placebo that has no effect. It's sort of like when one of your Lincoln Park... Well, okay. It's kind of like one of your Lincoln Park Trixie girlfriends eating 6 pints of Haagen-Dazs after her boyfriend dumps her and goes back to his wife and kids.
Oh, jeez. Boy, that really brought it home, Mike. Thank you.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, is Alexa randomly laughing at you? You're not alone. But first, here's your forecast. Chilly today. It's pretty cold out there in the 20s. 24 degrees right now, going up to a high of 35 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Tonight, a low of 22. And then tomorrow, partly sunny skies, a high of 39. So not much difference. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I heard that there is black ice in northwest Indiana.
That's right, Amy. There are some slick conditions here and there. Fortunately, we don't have any crashes reported on the major highways in northwest Indiana, but especially on some of the secondary roads, it is slick. Major delays on the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway, especially, and also I-57 after a crash on the inbound Ryan at 79. It's gone now. The travel times have come down a bit, but still very heavy. Bishop Ford jam is 130th, the merge, then on up to 79. 45 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. I-57 at 30 minutes. Delay there starts at 127th. The Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to the Loop. All are fine outbound. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Hook to the Junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 22. Eisenhower, now 45 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound at 30. Stevenson, 44 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Eastbound Adams Tollway stop and go from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. The other tollway is still fairly light.
I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I'm worried that my employees are costing me a fortune every month in damaged or missing inventory. I'm not sure how to solve this problem or who to turn to.
Alarm Detection Systems installs video cameras that watch over your place of business, reduce loss, and increase profits with advanced security. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's adsalarm.com or 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner, you're lying to us. Again. You're lying about conservative Jeannie Ives, calling her Madigan's favorite Republican, and everyone knows it. Didn't you enact Madigan's liberal agenda from taxpayer-funded abortions to making Illinois a sanctuary state? Didn't you bail out Chicago public school pensions, helping your buddy Rahm on the backs of Illinois families? No wonder GOP lawmakers demand you stop your shameful distortions and fabrications of Jeannie Ives' record. No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
Republican floor leader in the Illinois House, and he is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
You even promised to protect our veterans. Now you're letting them die of Legionnaire's disease in Quincy. Rauner failed our veterans, failed our state, and he fails to tell us the truth. That's why Crane's newspaper said the governor is in full Pinocchio mode. Doesn't Illinois deserve better than Governor Pinocchio? Cast your ballot for the candidate with a proven record of integrity and fidelity to conservative values. Vote Jeannie Ives for governor, paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had this crazy thing happen with my eyesight. I went back to get my contact lenses done, and my optometrist, and I'm 46, he said, "This is really weird, but your eyesight is better." I'm like, I can't believe it, but I think it's these vitamins I'm taking.
I'm a huge believer in the product. I've tried lots of stuff, and this is the only real thing that I've ever, because of all these comparisons with all the other stuff I've had, this is by far the best thing, and consistently.
We're so healthy now on the Balance of Nature. There's no words to say how well it works.
Doing good on it, really. I'm feeling my skin is softer, and I feel good.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Did you know you could be paying up to 80% less for your family's medications? How? With GoodRx. GoodRx compares prices of every FDA-approved drug at pharmacies in your area and offers free downloadable coupons at GoodRx.com, so you get the best deals on all your medications. You'd be surprised at how much the prices can differ, even at pharmacies on the same block. Last year, GoodRx saved Americans over $2 billion on their medications. Just text GoodRx to 99,000 to learn how to start saving money today. Imagine paying even less than your insurance copay. GoodRx can sometimes find you medications for free. There are never any fees and no personal information is ever required. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions and save up to 80% instantly by texting the word GoodRx to 99,000. That's GoodRx to 99,000. Save today. Text GOODRX to 99000.
Message and data rates may apply. You will receive up to 4 automated text messages per month from GoodRx.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091 or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we're talking about guns. Mike in Round Lake Beach. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi.
Hi.
You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello?
Hello.
Why does gun control work in Australia after the Port Arthur massacre?
They confiscated 650,000 guns.
Yeah, that's not an algorithm. That's not conceptual. That's empirical data, and it worked.
So you should
gun control.
So you think
in counterpoint?
So you
to
think?
Your previous
Yeah,
caller,
Mike. So you think, Mike? I know. I got it. So you think we should confiscate guns?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to have a serious debate about it.
Well, okay. So how? So you think?
No. My point is, you say gun control doesn't work. The empirical evidence is that it does work.
Well, it works if you confiscate everybody's guns, and that's what totalitarian societies do. So I'm asking you if you think it's good public policy to effort to confiscate the 300 million guns that are in circulation in this country.
Oh, so the problem's just too big then. We just throw our hands up and say, well,
so is that a yes?
Too much.
Is that a yes? That you think that's the policy we should pursue?
Maybe just assault rifles.
Well, it's better than putting a gun in every teacher's hand.
So we should.
Yes, I would say that.
Gun confiscation. No, okay, thanks. That's a fair point. At least you're honest about it. Most of the Democrats aren't, but that's the same place they are at. So this is my point. There are people who actually believe in gun confiscation.
Yeah, I know.
This is not something that's imagined. It's not made up. Joe on the South Side.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Joe.
So thanks for taking my call. And I need a ruling. What should I do? I live in Lipinski's district, and I've always liked his stance on abortions. I'm a Catholic. What the heck?
Yeah,
I'm proud to be a Catholic.
You can say it.
You can admit it. Yeah, that's still legal.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, you shouldn't vote in the Democrat primary for Lipinski. No. And pro-lifers,
I should not.
You should not. You should pull a Republican ballot vote for Jeannie Ives because the race for governor is much more important than Dan Lipinski being one lone voice in the wilderness in a Democrat Party that is pro-abort and is not going to change in the foreseeable future. Dan Lipinski would have been better to run as a Republican, change parties. That's what he should have done because his party has left him. So I'm sorry for Dan. I appreciate that he's pro-life, but he is not going to be the little Dutch boy with his finger in the dike in the Democrat Party. Jeannie Ives is a much more important race, and frankly, down-ballot races are much more important on the Republican side than trying to save Lipinski from the barbarians of the left that have taken over that party. I'm sorry.
And then leave the Art Jones thing blank.
Yeah, those mailers are nasty, the ones that they're sending out. They make Lipinski look really bad.
Yeah, well.
And it's sad because he's a nice guy.
That's politics.
No,
thanks, Joe.
What's sad is that the Republican Party let Art Jones go uncontested in a Republican congressional primary.
Yeah.
I mean, the Holocaust denier, that doesn't really help the Republican Party at all.
No,
so
I think
leave that blank. You can vote for Jeannie Ives,
fair.
but don't vote for Art Jones.
Yeah, then another, again, we've talked about it before, another example of the great competence of the Ronald Republican Party. You have a Nazi who is going to be the nominee against either Dan Lipinski or that pro-abort socialist that's running against him. hey, way to go, Republican Party. Gosh, why are we the super minority party despite Chicago Democrats destroying the city and the state's economy?
Well,
I can't figure it out.
It's almost like they set us up to fail because he's making national rounds and talking about it. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of the Republican Party, we'll talk about it at the federal level, tariffs and sanctuary state. DOJ is suing California with Peter Roskam, congressman from the 6th Congressional, at 6:36.
And Run, Joey, Run, a dad's unusual punishment to teach his son a lesson. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunrise, 23 degrees in Chicago for the second time in less than a week. Major winter storm hammering New England. It will have repercussions here in the central part of the country as flights again are being canceled to the East Coast. Florida lawmakers are sending a gun control bill to Governor Rick Scott. The State House yesterday passed a bill that limits gun purchases to those who are 21 and older and requires a 3-day waiting period. The head of the U.S. Forest Service is accused of sexual misconduct, and he's out. Forest Service Chief Tony Took announced his immediate retirement last night. The Ag Department saying it had brought in an independent investigator after a report on allegations the Forest Service had a pervasive culture of sexual harassment. The Trump administration suing California for being a sanctuary state. The administration challenging California's sanctuary policies for illegal immigrants.
Now, the federal government ought to do its job and not blame California for its own inability to solve the problem, whether it's of crime or whether it's of immigration.
That's Governor Jerry Brown responding to the federal government. Thousands of cheerleaders and their supporters might be at risk for a severe case of the mumps after a national competition in Texas last month. The National Cheerleaders Association All-Star National Championship brought competitors from 39 states to Dallas, and those in attendance were exposed to a person with a full-blown case of the mumps. Cook County judge is ordering Mayor Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson to testify in a wrongful death lawsuit brought by the families of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones. A convicted felon accused of killing a Chicago police commander has made another appearance in court. A small number of police officers were in attendance when Shamari Leggett made a brief appearance in Cook County Circuit Court. His case was continued until Friday. Florida is the best state in the nation for higher education. If you're getting set to write that college check or in the process of looking, you may look at this new report by U.S. News and World Report. It's based on several factors, including the time it takes for Florida students to complete 2- and 4-year higher education programs, cost of tuition and fees, and the burden of debt for college graduates. It's the second year in a row Florida ranks number 1. Bulls sink the Grizzlies 119-110 last night. College hoops, big comeback for Notre Dame. They move on in the ACC tournament after a win over Virginia Tech, 71-65. The news service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple, so you can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today, licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender, and MLS number 3030. 634, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager defines a conservative.
The left is based on passion. It is not intellectually based. It is not rationally based. We're angry that people got killed, as I am too. I am just as angry as they. Then I ask with my mind, with my faculty of reason, what would work. The second you ask what would work, you are a conservative.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Cabela's Great Outdoor Days, family events, and amazing deals. Save 30% on select in-stock tackle bags and 25% on over 18,000 fishing lures, scents, and baits. Shop in-store or online at Cabela's.com.
Risk mitigation is an important consideration that smart companies pay attention to in today's complicated business climate. Some of the greatest risks occur when your company hires new employees or when you execute new business financial relationships. When your company hires, leases, or conducts financial transactions, decisions are critical. That's why veteran-owned and operated Global Verification Network is a company you should know. Startups to Fortune 100s trust Global Verification Network, and so should you. They're a background screening and investigative services company dedicated to expert, timely, and affordable background screening services for employment, tenant screening, and business due diligence. Global Verification Network is headquartered in Chicagoland, a federally recognized veteran-owned small business, and never offshores data like many competitors. To request your company's risk analysis without obligation or cost, visit globalverificationnetwork.com or call 877-695-1179 or visit them online at globalverificationnetwork.com. Global Verification Network, the risk mitigation experts, 877-695-1179.
It is 6:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound heavy starting at Niles Center. 24 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown. It's 14 from Montrose, 10 on the Express. Outbound 22 minutes to the airport. On Eisenhower, 51 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 33. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the merge. And the Bishop Ford is at 50 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan toll into the Eisenhower. Northbound Veterans Memorial stop and go. The Army Trail toll to 290. Crash reported on the ramp. Traffic service of Walgreens. Looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions? As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Chilly with partial sunshine, high of 35. Patchy clouds and cold overnight, low 22. 25 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MyPainChicago.com. World-class treatment for chronic pain. Go to MyPainChicago.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity. Right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. A lot of things happening at the federal level. Guns, tariffs, sanctuary state, city policies. Not to mention all of the geopolitical concerns. And to help us distill all of those issues, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Peter Roskam, congressman from Illinois 6, out there in the western burbs. Peter, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Good to be with you.
So Speaker Ryan put a bit of a wet blanket on Trump's proposed tariffs, 25% on foreign steel, 10% on foreign aluminum. There's a bit of a division between some of those with more protectionist instincts like the president and those that are more free traders like Paul Ryan, and I'm guessing probably you. So how is that going to flesh itself out? Because Congress can reel the president back in on this issue if they want to.
Yeah, Congress can. Of course, it would, the irony is in order to do that, it would take the president to sign, the law that Congress would pass. So there's less here to do than meets the eye. I think this is a real challenge and a real problem. The notion of raising taxes, and that's what tariffs are, on American businesses and American consumers is something that is we shouldn't go this route. And while trade deals in some cases need to be renegotiated and to come to the table and to push for a better NAFTA deal, for example, is very significant. But locally, here's the impact. We've got a lot of small manufacturers and small businesses in the 6th Congressional District that are manufacturing things, and they've got to import this steel. And to raise these tariffs on them is counterintuitive. It's not helpful, and it will have a negative impact on growth. So I think the much smarter move is to move away from this.
What is there a middle ground where you could exempt countries like Canada and Mexico and focus in on countries like Turkey and China?
Yeah, you could, I think, and I think the White House is signaling a willingness to exempt Canada and Mexico, which is a good thing. And look, here in the great scheme of things, this could be, posturing and negotiation driving and positioning and so forth. So I don't discount that, as the ability of the president to drive the debate, and he certainly got everybody's attention. And I think that when it all comes down to it, my hope is that cooler heads prevail and we don't get into a trade war where everybody's a loser.
And there seems to be some confusion in the White House over the tariff rollout. He was supposed to present something today. Now that's been put on hold. And we know that 100 congressional members sent President Trump saying a letter pretty much saying, don't do this. Were you one of those who signed that letter?
Yeah, I was one of those that signed the letter. And it could be that there's confusion. It could be that they're pausing and reconsidering based on this wide range of people that they're hearing from. And you know, the departure of Gary Cohn, who was chairman of the national, the advisory group, the economic advisors in the White House, could be a signal to the president that this is a very serious thing. And here's the irony. We have so much growth that we've currently experienced and that we're poised on for more that came from cutting taxes, that came from the regulatory rollback. There's a lot of people that are urging caution here, saying if you go this tariff route, you're going to put a lot of speed bumps on this economic growth, and that's not what we want to see happen.
Well, and that's the point that Mark Perry made in an op-ed in the Washington Examiner, who's Mark Perry is an economist at the University of Michigan. He talked about the energy sector in particular, which has been one of the drivers of growth and dynamism in the economy, and that the tariffs have the possibility of raising the cost of the production of oil and natural gas, which we're exporting around the globe to the benefit of the domestic economy, and that means raising energy costs for both American firms and households, and that would not be good.
Yeah, and you look at autos that use a lot of steel. You look at I keep going back, in and through my constituents. You guys know my district well, and you just drive around, and there's all these small companies that are manufacturing things, and steel is a key component of this, and these metals that they need for it, and it is simply not available here, and we've got to make sure that their prices don't go up. So we're at a pretty tumultuous time right now in terms of this trade policy, and I think and hope cooler heads can prevail, but it remains to be seen.
Jeff Sessions, he's the Attorney General, He was in California yesterday, and he delivered a rather stark message to Governor Moonbeam and the Oakland mayor in particular. Listen to what he had to say to Mayor Schaaf.
So here's my message to Mayor Schaaf. How dare you? How dare you needlessly endanger the lives of our law enforcement officers to promote a radical open borders agenda? But in California, we have bigger problems also. More than just one mayor.
Well, we have those same problems in Illinois, I would argue. And so are you doing what you can to maybe have Jeff Sessions come to Chicago or to the suburbs and deliver the same message directed at both Tiny Dancer, the mayor of Chicago, as well as Bruce Rauner, the governor of the state of Illinois, who supports the same policies?
It's a fair point. This notion of sanctuary states is not a helpful thing, and Sessions framed it up well in terms of telegraphing, just putting law enforcement in danger, and law enforcement is under so much pressure right now, as we know, and they are really at risk. That it's a foolish thing to put them in danger unnecessarily. I would also, be remiss if I didn't point out Attorney General Sessions has an opportunity to do the right thing vis-a-vis Lois Lerner, who the three of us have talked about a lot, the person who was involved in the scandal of targeting conservatives, and the Justice Department. And Sessions, as head of the Justice Department, has done nothing, to my knowledge, to pursue that case. And I think it is not appropriate that they just completely walk away from that.
And how bewildered were you personally, just not as a politician, but as a resident of Illinois, when you found out and realized that Governor Rauner signed us as a sanctuary state?
Yeah, that I don't know if there was much foreshadowing of that, from a policy point of view, but it really just puts us at odds with the larger discussion. And that's not to say that you can't drive a discussion and come to some common ground in terms of figuring out this immigration conundrum that we have, but becoming a sanctuary state to basically say we're going to thumb our nose at federal law and we're going to ask for federal money to just pretty ridiculous in my view.
The New York Times this week admitted that they this is a more direct version than they copped to, but what they did is they concocted these profiles of people that would be hurt by the Trump tax cuts, and then they said, oh, well, yeah, those profiles actually would have been helped by the Trump tax cuts, so we admit that we, were promulgating propaganda. How much has the change in public opinion as people are experiencing the tax cuts and getting a better understanding of them and now favor them, how much do you think that really buoys Republican spirits and prospects for the politics of it, which is to retain the House in November?
Yeah, it helps a lot. And I think there's a couple things going on. One, the Democrats completely overplayed their hand, and they were just hyperbolic in their criticism of this effort. You know, when you describe this as Armageddon, the worst bill ever, and $1,000 you just describe as crumbs, as Nancy Pelosi said, it's just out of step, and people can't relate to that. I'll just give you an anecdote. I was up in Crystal Lake a couple of weeks ago at the Chamber of Commerce. They had an expo in one of the school gyms. I was just walking around and talking to a guy who was involved in home remodeling, is my recollection. And I said, tell me about the tax cuts and the impact it's had on you. And he said, look, our prices are coming down because our suppliers are discounting our supplies based on the tax cuts. I'm up at West Dundee, and a guy comes up to me. I'm at City Hall. We're honoring the local Lions Club, and the guy comes up to me and just out of the blue, just comes up and he goes, kind of pulled me aside. He goes, thank you for the tax help. I really appreciate it. So I think this is one of these bills. The more people see it, the more they learn about it, the more comfortable they are, and the more they realize, oh, this is good stuff. And I was told this was going to be a disaster for me. Good stuff.
Speaking of demagoguery, how concerned are you, particularly in a suburban district, that you're going to get the left, the Democrats are going to do guns as a big issue in this campaign cycle and suggest that every Republican is bought and paid for by the NRA, wants to put a gun turret on top of everybody's home, and all the other silliness that you get on this issue from the left if they think they can scare suburban voters?
Yeah, I think that you can see this playbook coming. It's come before, it will come again, and it's like catnip for the left. They cannot resist. They go right to the politics of firearms as opposed to trying to think through good policy. And I think the smarter thing for us to be doing as a culture right now is to be asking two questions. Number one, how is it possible that we have some people who are so isolated and so lonely and so enraged that they reach out and they do what they've done in terms of mass murder? That's the deeper question we need to answer. And the other thing is, and I'm working through this now, how do we create a mechanism that's constitutional and gives due process, but by which, where there are red flags, that it's a clear indication and you see the trajectory in terms of social media and statements and so forth, and everybody scratches their heads and say, how come something wasn't possible where there was no intervention? How do we up that safety valve to make sure that we have the capacity to intervene? And I think that there's some smart, thoughtful things that we can do that can reach a balance there. But the demagoguery is coming. The demagoguery is here, and it's just, I think, a current state of being in this national debate we've had.
He is Peter Roskam, Congressman from Illinois 6th out in the Western Burbs. Peter, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Dan, coming up next, I found your favorite, which I think will be your favorite, state lawmaker in Florida who had a message for those kids at Parkland. But first, here's your forecast. Chilly today, partly sunny skies, a high of 35 degrees. Then tonight, a low of 22. And for tomorrow, which is Friday already, wow, partial sunshine. Yeah, it does. It just sneaks up on you. You're right. A high of 39 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, Eden's inbound delay started 2E. It is 30 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 21. Kennedy, 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 28. Ike now 52 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 33. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 50. Tollways, big delays on the northbound Veterans Memorial, North Avenue 290. Crash on the ramp. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The president expected to announce tariffs soon, and a Maine resident wins a $40,000 judgment against a store owner who insulted his heritage. Those stories next.
Hey, this is Ricky from Banyan Hill. You like freedom? I do. You like money? I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're going to love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard that right. $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by April 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the April 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
President Trump's announcement on his tariffs on steel and aluminum imports is nearing. Congressional leaders had hoped to head off the imposition of those tariffs, fearing a trade war, they said, with other countries. But the president is firm in his belief his actions will protect American jobs and industry. Economic reports today, the latest jobless benefits claims from the Labor Department, an update on sales at discount stores, and consumer confidence. A member of an Indian tribe in Maine has been awarded $40,000 because one of the owners of a Maine-based jewelry company made comments calling him the Big Indian and joking about firewater. Jason Brown says the stereotypical treatment made him feel his heritage was a joke, and a court agreed. $40,000 in damages the result. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Gentlemen, when it comes to good health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested recently. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site laboratory, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can even raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low testosterone levels in men. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That's lowtcenter.com.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was surprised at myself how much energy I had, and I'm doing 2 jobs, running around like a maniac, and I was able to handle it. Really, I'm like, wow, this stuff is really good. So, more than anything else, it just gave me the extra energy and the well-being, feeling of well-being that I don't think I would have without it.
Well, I take it every day, and I feel great. And my wife looks at me and says, how come you never get sick? And I do. It's because I take the fruits and veggies.
I just feel a lot better. My life has turned around. Everything is working for me.
it just helps me feel good. I just think the products are wonderful, and I take them every day. I just like it. It works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshaw4congress.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, let's take a couple calls here right quick. Michael in Lake Forest.
Yeah, you are certainly making the case for Ives, but I've heard the Rauner commercials talking about Ives deferring to Madigan, not quite worshiping the ground he walks on, and I've heard Ives say things along those lines. How do you reconcile that with some semblance of integrity for the Ives candidacy?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's all
me,
lies.
Micah. It's amazing. Here's what traitors do, Michael. They have to cover their tracks with lies. Jeannie Ives has been there 6 years. Her record is her record. It's there for anybody to find out if they would do a little bit of investigation rather than believe some tripe they hear on TV. Are you serious? Let me read from John Cass, okay, who was in the room where these quotes were pulled from. Let me read from him. I mean, it's so infuriating that people do pay no attention, that they're going to believe some spewage on TV.
Well,
whether
he's just calling to ask you about it.
No. Whether it's mine or somebody else's, have the self-respect, semblance of integrity to actually care about this fracking state. Civic pride. Pay attention. Investigate. John Cass. The governor twisted her words from a debate the two had before the Chicago Tribune editorial board. I was there. She crushed him in that one. Yet now Rauner is using that commercial to make it seem as if she were defending Madigan. It was Rauner who used Madigan as a shield in that Tribune debate, constantly bringing up Madigan almost every time he was asked a question he didn't like, and Ives mocked him for it, saying there he goes again, attacking Madigan again. Jeannie Ives is the most conservative reform legislator in the General Assembly, and it's not close, Michael. So spread the word and tell your friends to wake up. Thank you for the call.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning
Honestly, people who should know better pay no attention.
I know.
I don't care about him just asking. He shouldn't be. This is 2 weeks before election. He shouldn't have to ask the question. That shows somebody who is just watching TV, who is passively engaged, and who doesn't give a rat's ass about the state to do the minimum required to answer his own question. In the digital age, this information isn't out there. What the hell is wrong with people? Honestly.
I just think he cared enough to call, which it's all lies.
Yeah, congratulations.
I mean, she's not financed by Mike Madigan either. It's a joke. And even the people who created that commercial got drunk at a bar and admitted that they were just bashing her on purpose and making stuff up.
We live in this state that we live in, the worst governed in American history, because nobody takes the time to pay attention. Nobody takes the time to show any initiative to get the truth. They all have to be spoon-fed, and they're spoon-fed by the guys with the biggest checkbooks.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Ken Blackwell. He wants to be the governor of Ohio, but it's 7 a.m. First, time for Fox News.
He doesn't want teachers to be armed.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. So Florida's governor is hesitant signing a bill state lawmakers approved yesterday that would let school districts consider letting some teachers carry guns. The bill would also raise the minimum age for buying rifles to 21 and impose a 3-day waiting period.
We stand united in asking him to sign this historic bill into law.
Andrew Pollock's daughter was among the 17 murdered in last month's shooting at her high school in Parkland, Florida. Police in Birmingham, Alabama aren't giving many details about yesterday's high school shooting that left a 17-year-old girl dead.
A graduating senior who had been accepted into college already, who had aspirations and dreams to be a nurse.
Mayor Randall Woodfin, the shooting is said to have been accidental. Sources told the Birmingham News a boy was showing off a gun when it went off. President Trump will talk to video game makers today at the White House. An industry group put out a statement that reputable studies found no connection between gaming and real-life violence. The president just tweeted about his proposed tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, saying we have to protect our industries. But he added we'll have flexibility and cooperation toward those that are real friends. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said
there are potential carve-outs for Mexico and Canada.
2 former Trump campaign officials are busy today. One is due in court. The other will be questioned. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort will be arraigned today in Virginia on tax evasion and bank fraud charges. The grand jury indictment accuses Manafort of hiding tens of millions of dollars he earned advising pro-Russia politicians in Ukraine from the IRS. Meanwhile, Corey Lewandowski, President Trump's former campaign manager, will go behind closed doors today with the House Intelligence Committee in the Russia probe. Dave.
Rachel, hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses are without power from Pennsylvania into New England after that storm yesterday that dumped more than 2 feet of snow in some areas, snarling travel, trains, buses, and planes. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunshine and 23 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Here are the stories we're following on WIND Chicago. Cook County judge is ordering Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson to testify in a wrongful death lawsuit brought by the families of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones. A date for Emanuel's deposition has not been set. Johnson will be deposed next week. Mayor Emanuel pressuring Governor Rauner to try and sign a bill that would require gun retailers to get additional licenses from the state on top of already being licensed by the federal government.
It was signed by me and all 50 aldermen, and I said that he may obviously not want to make this decision before his primary, but he has a responsibility to make this decision on behalf of all of us for the safety and security of the people of the city of Chicago.
Both were attending a ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday. The governor would not say whether he would sign the bill. An investigation is underway after 2 men were wounded in a shooting in Robbins. Authorities say one of the victims was found shot near 135th and St. Louis. A second victim discovered near 135th and Pulaski. The FBI is investigating allegations that a former Dixmoor mayor took bribes while working as a consultant for Harvey Mayor Eric Kellogg. Federal court records unsealed show Donald Luster accepted tens of thousands of dollars in kickbacks from developers to win city approval in real estate deals. The accusations stem from a series of recorded conversations with Luster and others in 2016. Chicago sports, Lauri Markkanen 22 points, Zach LaVine 21. Bulls beat the Grizzlies 119-110 at the United Center. Kyle Schwarber a home run, Cubs over the Indians in spring baseball, while the White Sox beat the Reds 14-12. The news, a service of Lowe's. Get an extra 5% off purchases every day at Lowe's on items big or small when you use your Lowe's Advantage card. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval and cannot be combined with any other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas. online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
When hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need to get to a short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Daryl is hired with Indeed.
Using the site saves me a lot of time. It makes my job so much easier.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive dashboard. Your time is precious. Let Indeed help you get to your short list of qualified candidates. Post a job at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
When it comes to your home, nothing's more important than your roof. Everything underneath depends on it, right? Even if it's not leaking yet, you know it's important to be proactive and repair or replace it before you have a problem. And in Chicagoland, the decision to call Best Deal Inc. first is a no-brainer. For nearly 2 decades, Best Deal has delivered great service and beautiful roofs, as well as the best deal. By dealing directly with owners Greg and Dan, you'll get the absolute best deal anywhere because Best Deal maintains zero stock or warehousing, so there's no overhead to pass on to you. Best Deal uses the highest quality materials and latest, highest tech equipment. And their skilled tradesmen will complete your job on time and to your satisfaction. So if a new or repaired roof is on your list this spring, don't hesitate to get the best roof deal. Call licensed, bonded, and insured Best Deal today for your free estimate at 877-77-BEST-D or visit bestroofdeal.com. That's 877-77-BEST-D or online at bestroofdeal.com.
7:07 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Edens inbound heavy 2-way to Montrose, 30 minutes like Cook to the junction, outbound 21 on Kennedy. 42 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 22 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose, 35 to the airport. On Eisenhower, delays start at Wolf Road. It is an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown, 57 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 33 minutes to 390. On I-55, delays start at Weber Road, and it's an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, I-80 to the Verge, Bishop Ford, 45. Northbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State delays, Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Vanderbilt Memorial, it's clogged up from North Avenue to 290. Crash reported on the ramp. The other tollways are good. Northwest Indiana, just fine. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, chilly with partial sunshine, high 35. Patchy clouds tonight, cold with a low 22. Tomorrow, partial sunshine, high 39. And patchy clouds at night, low 24. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
25 degrees at O'Hare, 23 along the lakefront. Next news at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I think we have found, Amy, a father who has been listening to Dan Proft's parenting tips.
Oh, you mean this section?
It's time for Dan Proft's parenting tips. Whoa! Dan Proft's parenting tips. Whoa! Tell your kids to shut up and listen to him.
Yeah, you're a child. Father in Virginia, Roanoke, to be specific, his kid was kicked off the bus for 3 days for bullying.
What, did he punch somebody from Francis Parker?
That sounds like a personal matter.
Or
He's in
an
Roanoke,
alleged
Virginia.
punch that never happened.
Yeah, the Phantom Punch.
Yes, the Phantom Punch. I love
no,
that story.
So he's thrown off the bus for 3 days, and Dad wants to teach his 10-year-old son a lesson. So here's what he did.
What he done gonna do, Dan?
His son.
I would love to keep talking like this.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is fun.
What's his son running to school?
You mean, was he running?
Run, Forrest, run!
No, that's not the right one. He was running. That's the one. Come on.
We gotta find it.
All right, so here's him following his kid who is running to school because he's kicked off the bus. Dad's following him in a car, Facebook Living and commenting.
And the kid, keep in mind, has his big backpack on over his shoulders, and it's raining out.
It's hysterical.
All right, everybody, welcome to You Better Listen to Your Dad 2018. Any of y'all that know me know I've got two wonderful children, Hayden, my son at 10, and my daughter, Temperance, at 8. Well, my son has finally got in trouble on the bus enough to where he got actually kicked off the bus for 3 days because he was being a little bully, which I do not tolerate, cannot stand, and therefore he has to now run to school. We're right about 1 mile from the school, so all week he has got the experience of running to school. The good news is, hey guys, he keeps up a pretty good mile pace at 6 miles an hour so far.
It's not bad.
Yesterday, he was apparently a little rude for Michelle in the morning, so even though it's raining this morning, he still gets to run. This right here is just simple. You know, ironically, since he's been running to school this week, his behavior's been much better. His teachers have approved of his behavior this week. He hasn't gotten in trouble at school this week, where last week he was just absolutely out of his mind. But this right here is just old school simple parenting. This ain't killing nobody. This is a healthy way for a child to be punished because it's, you know, exercise, something that a lot of people don't think children should do anymore, so you just stick them behind a damn Xbox for the rest of their lives. So this right here is called parenting, guys. If you don't know what it's like, here you go.
I want to hear Brian Thornhill fans, or is that...
child abuse.
Yeah, or something on the, akin to that. Is that good parenting? Is that good parenting? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. As a parenting expert, as you heard from the intro music.
Right. Oh, because you have no kids, so you know exactly what you're doing.
Did you hear the credentializing intro music? I rest my case. As a parenting expert, I think this is great parenting.
Really? But I could see how some would think it's abusive because it is a long distance. It's not just a few blocks. And he's got that heavy backpack on, and it's raining out. But you know what? Guess what?
It's in great shape.
Dad's in charge. The government's not in charge. I hope to God nobody intervenes on behalf of that kid, calling it abuse. Please tell me no one has.
Well, I mean, what would you do for Peyton or Eli in a similar situation? Do you see that as acceptable discipline?
I do see it as acceptable discipline. I know that one of my kids would run, the other one would walk.
Well, he could be dragged.
Well, I know when I missed the bus at Hersey High School, my mom made me walk from Mount Prospect all the way to Arlington Heights. I mean, it was about 4 or 5 miles, and it was 25 degrees outside, and I was freezing. I didn't have gloves.
Yeah,
and I wish
uphill both ways.
I
blah,
wish
blah,
back
blah.
then somebody would have called DCFS to protect me.
Yeah.
But thank goodness Martha Messer lived halfway in between in Prospect Heights, and I stopped by her house and hitched a ride.
Nobody knows who these people are, but okay. Speaking
but
of
if you knew them, you would love them.
Well, I mean, it's not like he, tied him to the rear bumper. And, he's kind of driving at 6 miles an hour, and the kid has to keep pace. He's in front.
Uh-huh.
Right, so it's not dangerous. So it's a 10-year-old running to school. What's the problem with that? 10-year-olds have all kinds of energy, and it sounds like he's knocking the energy and the rambunctiousness and the bullying out of him. Apparently, this is working, according to Dad.
Well, apparently, too, he was better in school because he worked out some muscles, if you know what I mean. Because they sit down and they play Xbox hours on end, and parents get lazy. and not intervene and say, hey, let's get off the Xbox. I'm just glad, some like ping pong table, pool table, anything to distract them to get them off that Xbox.
Well, what's the big question we're asking in the wake of these terrible events? I mean, not that this kid's going to grow up to be a criminal or anything, but we're asking the larger question, what does it mean to be a man? How should boys be instructed on what it means to be a man, primarily from their parents? And Dad here is saying, this is what it means to be a man. You don't pick on other people, and if you do, you're going to find out that there's somebody bigger who can pick on you, and that's me.
Yeah. Well, there were strong reactions to the video in support and opposition. But the dad said, teach your kids, don't be a friend, be a parent. That's what children need these days. They do. They need rules. They need boundaries, because without that, there's chaos. But adults have to establish the boundary lines. So clearly, this kid got kicked off the bus. The dad's like, that's it. You're running to school. I'll be behind you, but that's how you're going to get there.
And they also have to establish the course that you're going to run.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Turn right, then go left.
James in Westmont, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, it should be abusive because I didn't see the kid wearing galoshes, right? So, you need some,
to keep his feet warm.
Protect his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Amy, real quick, it's amazing how you don't want the government involved, but you want them to take away my AR, huh?
I don't want him to take away your AR. I just want to make sure you're 21 years old and there's, ample time for a
my son
check.
could fire an AR, no problem. He's 13. Should I be thrown in jail now?
I don't know. Can he legally fire a gun at 13? I don't know what this. I know in Texas it was 11, so I don't know what the rule is here.
Well, it's under my supervision, but anyway, so just
you shouldn't tell people
Amy.
that.
Thanks for the call, James. Maybe so the galoshes, so the protecting the feet is the issue there.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? You've had experience with having to deal with disciplining boys. I mean, I'm the expert, but I'm happy to hear your experience as a mom.
In what case? I'm just coming off of something right now. I'm
Pick
still
one.
a little jittery about
Pick one.
trying to be judicious in my rhetoric. What did they do recently?
Forget what they did. How did you deal with inappropriate conduct? Give us an example of punishment in the Jacobson household.
All right. Take away their cell phone, because all they do is watch YouTube on their cell phones. That's all they do. They would never turn on a television set if I didn't sometimes turn on TV to watch CNN or NBC or Fox News. And then also take away the dreaded, most hated product ever created, and that's the Xbox.
Yeah, it's like that father
So that
said.
whole, that Fortnite thing that they do, it's so crazy. It's a third-person video game, a third-person shooter game, not first-person. So Call of Duty is first-person shooter, and the third-person shooter, you're watching yourself. You get to pick out what you're wearing, what your character is, your gender, all that, and then you fly into this island, and you even get to pick the aircraft that you come in on, and you get dropped in, and then some of your friends are on your team, and you're going against other kids, but they're all talking to each other through a headset.
I'm sorry, are they playing or are you playing?
Well, I have to explain the game. And today, ironically, President Trump is meeting in D.C., obviously, they're coming to the White House, video game makers to see if there's anything they can do or if they're related at all to high school violence.
Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, good morning. I would have liked it better if he made the little brat chant some sort of cadence as he was running outside the car, like, this is my backpack, there goes my bus, I got kicked off, what's all the fuss?
Sure, something that rhymes.
Absolutely.
Razzle dazzle. Yeah, that would have been an idea too. But Tom in Deer Park.
Oh, good morning, Dan. Question from my wife and myself.
Yeah.
Do you plan on opening a camp, and what is the age limit?
The parenting camp?
For boys.
For
girls are no problem.
I think most.
I don't think you'd
girls
last
are no
longer than a
problem.
week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Honestly, my parenting expertise is really with respect.
It's hands off
to men, to boys that are going to grow into men. Yeah, I will have to think about making it.
I think
co-ed.
it's too close.
I think that's a bridge too far for me. I'm going to stick to focusing on raising strong, principled, thoughtful young men.
You
that's
still
what I'm gonna
think that I should pull my kids out of CPS and have them go to Northridge Prep?
Northridge Prep. I'm speaking there today for Career Day.
You are?
And maybe I'll put in a good word for those two.
Peyton and Eli.
Those two gamers that you got in your basement. Yeah. Turn them over to Northridge
One's
Prep.
violent, apparently.
They'll be running to school, too.
Mhm.
So, Tom, it's a good question you asked, especially age limit. And I know what you're saying. You're saying we have a lot of overgrown adolescents masquerading as adults, and they need to go to camp for my parenting tips, too. Not to parent their kids, but for them to grow up actually into adults, self-sufficient adults. Is that what you're implying?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was actually kind of thinking on a personal level here, but, then maybe you could do like week-long seminars with different age groups. Maybe you could take progressives and liberals into their 40s, for all I know.
There's no question.
You could have a seminar getting off your parents' health insurance.
Right.
For the 26-year-olds.
Thanks for the call, Tom. Yeah, I mean,
When to Man Up, of course, by Dan Proft.
Maybe what I could do is I could have like seventh graders that are going to Northridge Prep be counselors to 40-year-olds about how to get a job, how to be intellectually curious,
how to do their lawn,
how to live the life of a servant leader. Yeah. We could have kids actually teach the overgrown adolescents in the form of adults who are these who are otherwise parasitic and ignorant. Well, that's an idea. Maybe I can team up with Prager on that.
Can we go to Julia?
Julia in Bloomington.
Hi, how are you guys today?
Good.
Great.
Hey, I'm calling. I've called before. I'm a single mom, 4 kids. I've been a single mom for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the Xbox, Amy, I have found an amazing tool, and it kind of goes along with what this guy has done. And the remedy is I'm the boss. I'm the boss of my house.
Right.
The kids have an Xbox. I paid for it. It's my Xbox. The boys are only allowed to play it on the weekend. The end.
Really?
That's it. And if you don't like it, then I can take my Xbox away. I don't think things like this are super difficult.
Yeah.
Just because it affects every single thing that we do in our home. My brother gave us a car for my 17-year-old son. He says, if it would make your life easier to have him to have a car to help you drive the other kids to dance lessons and things like that, I'm willing to give you this car. I don't need it anymore. So we did that. I buy the gas until he turns 17. Now he pays for the gas. I pay for the insurance. It's my car. So as long as the grades stay up, he can drive it. If he gets anything lower than a B, it parks in the driveway. The end. I'm the boss.
This
so
sounds
this guy,
yeah.
the man following his son, what he's establishing is what a lot of people, I think, sometimes are afraid to establish, is that mom and dad are the boss. I'm also a teacher, and in my classroom, I am the boss. Now, sometimes with the wave of education being what it is, the administration doesn't like that because, it's supposed to be peer. The students are in control.
Yeah, right.
You're just supposed to be the guy on the side.
Julia,
You're no longer the sage.
Would you like to be a counselor at the camp that I'm going to open per Tom in Deer Park? Because I think you're qualified. Yeah.
Pay me more than I'm making in my public school job, and I would run in a minute.
I can't keep up with the pension benefits as you know. But here's one other question for you before I let you go. Amy is looking for somebody to play Call of Duty with her on Xbox.
Fortnite.
Can you guys hook up so she has somebody to play with?
Well, I would probably know just as much about it as she would, as I never, ever look at the... I teach junior high, and my junior high boys, oh my gosh, the stupid Fortnite thing. I'm ready to just send them all out of the room. You guys are ridiculous.
Thank you, Julia. Appreciate the call. John in Lincolnwood.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. How are you?
Good morning.
Good.
Okay, I just wanted to call in because I read an article about this, I think it was yesterday, about the father who was making his son run in the rain and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, good for him. It's about time that, some parents have some discipline. Of course, then I read the comments below the article. And, of course, it's just this liberal nonsense of, I wonder where the kid learned the bullying. I guess the father's the bully because he makes his kid do this. I'm like, oh, my God, you know what? He's not abusing anything. He's trying to teach him in a good way some discipline and say, look, you can't pick on other kids. You can't do these things, and this is going to be your punishment. You're going to run to school. I think it was great, but these comments are just unreal. I mean, these people, this is why the kids are the way they are. undisciplined. I mean, they talk back. They do all this. It's unbelievable what I see, and I don't tolerate it. I'm like, you're not going to do this in my house.
No, that's exactly right, John. Thanks for the call. And you're exactly right that people can't distinguish between disciplining and bullying anymore because bullying has been so overused. The word has become meaningless. The interesting thing, too, is there was another video which shows his son and his daughter, the boy's sister, trying to run with him. And the boy leaves his dad and his sister far behind in the dust with his running. So, I mean, it's done from a loving place, too. It's not like he's screaming at him and, just kind of pounding on the kid. And the kid obviously gets it, and he's responding. And it's almost like a family bonding moment.
All I know is that they were running.
That day on, if I was going somewhere, I was running.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Supporting veterans is our passion. That's why we support Veteran Roasters, a Chicago coffee roaster that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you'd like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee roasted and ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. The coffee's delicious, and the profits are reinvested in hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. If you're a veteran securing a VA loan and would like to work with a local lender who supports veterans, call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner lies so much, he reminds us of another Chicago politician.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor. Period.
No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
The Republican floor leader in the Illinois House is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
Jeannie Ives won't tolerate lies and has lived by the cadet code. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. And neither should you. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs, you complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
As you approach retirement, it's important to determine the amount of income you can receive from Social Security. Depending on when and how distributions are taken, you may be able to optimize the benefits you're eligible to receive, particularly among married couples. Call Jack Taboda today to get a copy of his informational booklet, The Social Security Decisions. This informational booklet presents the facts about Social Security distribution options to help you determine when and how to begin taking distributions, so you may receive more income over the course of your retirement. To receive your Social Security Decisions informational booklet, call Jack at 630-777-7955 or visit Taboda.com. That's TEBODA.com. Get the most out of your Social Security benefits. Call today, 630-777-7955.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and Taboda & Associates are not affiliated companies. Taboda & Associates is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees the difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO.
and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Is it necessary for a church to become incorporated? This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
I was wondering if it's true that churches need to become incorporated to protect themselves and their members from frivolous lawsuits.
Well, look, I can't give individual advice on a church-by-church basis, but in my view, incorporating is a good idea. Now, some states do allow churches to incorporate, and certainly from a liability standpoint, it always helps to have called the corporate shield. That's why corporate existence is structured that way. One thing I want to make clear, Jason, and we've had a number of calls in the last couple of months from pastors around the country, the fact that you incorporate does not mean you have to file for a 501c3 recognition. Churches are automatically tax exempt under 508 of the Internal Revenue Code.
The American Center for Law and Justice is committed to defending your religious and constitutional freedoms. To become more involved in protecting these freedoms, visit us at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
We're just a couple of weeks away from Beyond the Talking Points when I'll sit down across from Donna Brazile and explain to her why just about every position she holds is wrong. It's happening on Thursday, March 22nd at the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows. Donna and I will be debating all the big issues, immigration, gun control, tax reform, and you'll have a chance to post questions to us as well. Tickets on sale now, 560theanswer.com/beyond.
I'll be parking cars out front.
Valet, side hustle.
Sean will be selling cigars.
It's a gala fair. Yeah. But right now.
You read right now.
We got a pair of tickets to give away to caller number.
I say caller number 10.
We have a butt. We have a butt.
Cool weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM.
Cool weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt.
WQHG 97.1.
97.1.
97.1.
We have a butt.
In the morning, cool weekends.
FM. Weenie. And the butt.
I wish Weenie in the butt wasn't taken. Caller number 10, 312-733-6993. That's 312-733-6993. 312-733-6993 to caller 10 and caller 10. We'll win a pair of tickets to see me take on Donna Brazile March 22nd. A big thank you to our sponsors, AM Woodland Outdoor Design, 1-800-4-BLINDS-CHICAGO, the Judson World Leaders Forum, and the Heartland Institute.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
A Canadian and American steel company CEO debate Trump's tariffs at 7:37.
And how long can the White House pretend that the Stormy Daniels saga isn't an issue? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
23 degrees, partly sunny skies. The Pakistani Taliban says a U.S. drone strike has killed 20 of the terror group's fighters, including the son of a chief mullah in that country. New England and large swaths of the Northeast in the dark after another Northeast snowstorm slams the region.
It's real bad. Like, if you go down Catherine, you slide. You even slide coming up Rodney Street. It's real bad to be driving out.
Hazel is driving in Worcester, Massachusetts. Storm left over 320,000 in Massachusetts without power this morning. 2,500 flights canceled so far from Boston to Philadelphia. The head of the U.S. Forest Service accused of sexual misconduct, and he is out. Forest Service Chief Tony Took announced his retirement last night. Target increasing its minimum wage to $12 an hour. The goal is to pay $15 an hour by late 2020. It's not just a dollar per hour investment, but it's a goal to keep experienced workers on the job. A Cook County judge is ordering Mayor Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson to testify in wrongful death lawsuits brought by the families of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones. An investigation continues after two men were severely wounded in a shooting in South suburban Robbins overnight. Former Vice President Joe Biden is coming to Northwestern. The ex-U.S. Senator from Delaware speaking at the Kellogg School of Management. And graduate students continue their strike at the University of Illinois. They conducted a sit-in yesterday outside of U of I President Tim Killeen's office in Urbana. Bulls over the Grizzlies, 119-110. Cubs over the Indians, and the White Sox meet the Reds in spring baseball. Blackhawks take on the Hurricanes later on tonight. The news service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 7:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The DACA deadline came and went. Big deal.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Congress isn't capable of doing much, and I really don't want Congress doing anything when it comes to DACA. Here's my deal, guys. Build the wall, secure the border. Nobody should be in this country illegally. That's not complicated. Build the wall, secure the border. Nobody should be in America illegally. There's my comprehensive immigration reform.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
Cabela's Great Outdoor Days, family events, and amazing deals. Save 30% on select in-stock tackle bags and 25% on over 18,000 fishing lures, scents, and baits. Shop in-store or online at Cabela's.com.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner, you're lying to us. Again. You're lying about conservative Jeannie Ives, calling her Madigan's favorite Republican, and everyone knows it. Didn't you enact Madigan's liberal agenda from taxpayer-funded abortions to making Illinois a sanctuary state? Didn't you bail out Chicago public school pensions, helping your buddy Rahm on the backs of Illinois families? No wonder GOP lawmakers demand you stop your shameful distortions and fabrications of Jeannie Ives' record. No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
Republican floor leader in the Illinois House, and he is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
You even promised to protect our veterans. Now you're letting them die of Legionnaire's disease in Quincy. Rauner failed our veterans, failed our state, and he fails to tell us the truth. That's why Crain's newspaper said the governor is in full Pinocchio mode. Doesn't Illinois deserve better than Governor Pinocchio? Cast your ballot for the candidate with a proven record of integrity and fidelity to conservative values. Vote Jeannie Ives for governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
7:37. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. We're seeing heavy delays on the northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway. First from Boughton Road to the Reagan Tollway, and from Roosevelt up to 290. There's a crash on the right shoulder. On Tri-State Heavy Harlem to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, Reagan Tollway delays. 25 to Eola, 59 to Yackley. Aiden's 28 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 29. Kennedy, an hour and 15 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound it's 41 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour 15, 390 to downtown, outbound 34 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 37 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishopford, 50, 8094 to the merge. Traffic, service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple. You can understand the details. Be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states, equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A chilly day ahead. We'll have partly to mostly sunny skies. Good chunk of the day. High 35. Clouds roll in late in the day. Very cold overnight. And a low of 22. Currently 23. Next news coming up at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. Great events start with really great catering professionals. TastyCatering.com.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and yesterday on CNBC, this was sort of an interesting conversation. You had two steel CEOs square off in a discussion about Trump's tariffs. One is Burke Beier. He is from Beier Steel in Cincinnati. Oh, Greg from Schaumburg will like this. He's a Cincinnati native. Okay. The other is Scott Jones, Nova Steel in Hamilton, Ontario, and asked about Trump's tariffs and how they all impact the business, whether their respective businesses, whether they're pro or con. They started out on different sides, but it was interesting how they came together in agreement on something. But let's start with the disagreement. Here's Burke Beier from Beier Steel in Cincinnati.
So we've been challenged we've been in a global trade war for years now that people are just now starting to talk about. But we've seen steel dumped of all different types and from all different countries, coming in at costs that are just not a fair playing field for us domestically to be able to provide enough margin to employ people and do what our industry needs to do. And now the president is looking to make meaningful action that we are very much in support of. That's going to really help get us back to where we need to be as an industry.
All right, so there's the perspective from an American steel CEO, Beier Steel, Burke Beier in Cincinnati. Now hear from Scott Jones of Nova Steel in Hamilton, Ontario.
I mean, we bill you certainly as a Canadian company, which you are, but you also have plants in the United States and in Mexico. So I'm curious what a 25% tariff on steel would do to your company.
It would certainly do some damage, create a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of product that flows back and forth between the two countries. We ship a lot of our product by truck, and every time a truck goes down to the Northeast, we actually pick up products in the United States and it comes back to Canada. There's good two-way trade there. So we're worried that that'll slow down, so it'll hurt both sides. Certainly, we're already seeing in the last week prices in the United States are rising above prices what we're seeing in Canada. So it's having an effect already.
Scott, do you expect then you would
lose
business?
I believe is
do you think you would lose business to a company like Burke Beiers in the U.S.?
No, Burke Beiers is. I agree with Burke on a lot of the problems. The problems are the steel it's getting shipped by boat, not by truck. And some of the countries that Burke is trying to slow down, the Turks, the Taiwanese, and the Japanese, that's all coming by boat, and that's a different part of the economy. We're more just in time, and it could really hurt us, and it's going to hurt the Americans at the same time.
All
Hope I didn't get hit by that train behind
Well,
them.
you know, they're in industrial areas where you have easy access to
throw the chalk.
Ground transportation, right? It makes sense. But so it's interesting. So you start to see the lines between the two dissipate because it's those that ship. So it's Taiwan, it's Japan, it's China, it's Turkey. They're the issue, not Canadian firms like mine that have facilities in both America and in Mexico. And then it continues. Burke Beier picks up on what Scott Jones said about who should be subject to these tariffs and who shouldn't be. Burke Beier. Now, remember, this is the American steel company CEO.
Yes, we would be able to raise our prices to be able to capture a margin that we've needed for many years. But the fortunate thing about this situation is the president has the ability in his power to carve out countries or products, and we're strongly in support that he hopefully evaluates all sides of the situation, and he's able to appraise our talented and valuable allies like Canada and Mexico, because to the gentleman from Nova's point, they're very valuable trading partners with us.
So all of a sudden, the trading partners that are valuable to my company, I want exempted. The trading partners that are not valuable to my company, I don't. I want them targeted. So and some of those were mentioned, I just mentioned them. And then Scott Jones weighs in agreement.
Canada has the same, if not a bigger issue than we did from the same global offenders of Turkey and China. They were getting imports dumped in there at alarming rates also. The fortunate thing for Canada is their system moves extremely well and quickly.
You're absolutely right. We've got a problem in Canada, and our government has to be tough as well.
Bingo. So now do you see what happens? And you see how these tariffs beget more protectionism, or could, from the perspective of particular industries, if you have politicians that are similarly situated to Donald Trump philosophically. So what you ultimately had is Scott Jones doesn't like the Trump tariffs because it could negatively impact his over-the-road, his business and the over-the-road delivery of steel in America and Mexico. That's his business. He doesn't mind if you punish other countries that ship in steel. And oh, by the way, he also wants the Canadian government to take a hard protectionist line for the benefit of his business, just as Burke Bayer wants the government to take a protectionist line for the benefit of his business. Do you want the government in the business of protecting some industries at the expense of others? Because that's what this is. Peter Roskam said a tariff is a tax. That's right. Of course that is. Prices will rise. There are down-the-line impacts. You had Mark Perry write about it in the Washington Examiner, how it could negatively impact our energy sector, which has really been the most dynamic and the driver of GDP growth over the last several years. And we're exporting oil and natural gas. Well, this drives up the cost of production, drives up the price. It makes it less attractive to buy energy from America. That doesn't make sense. We've talked about the historical examples from the Bush steel tariffs in 2002 to the Reagan tariffs in the 80s, going all the way back to Smoot-Hawley and how it deepened the Depression. Do you want the government in this business of protecting some industries at the expense of others? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
Well, as a consumer of many, aluminum and products that are made of steel, I don't want it if it's going to pass costs on to us, the consumers.
Of course, consumers always pay taxes.
Right.
They pay the taxes.
Right, because it'll be trickled down to me. So, no, I don't want this.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, because this historical perspective, Burke Bayer, you heard him say, this trade war has been going on for a long time and people are just starting to take notice. Well, there's also decisions that steel industry executives have made over the last 100 years, not even, that gave the Europeans, for example, an opportunity to compete and outcompete some American steel manufacturers. So it's very much like when the government screws something up, our response is say, well, let's make it bigger. It wasn't big enough. And so we don't want the whole government responsible for the decisions they made and the consequence of those decisions. Are we doing the same thing with the steel industry? Not only are we protecting them against competition, we're insulating them from their own bad decisions and the consequences of. To point this out, Stephen Mims' piece in Bloomberg. The steel history shows how America lost ground to Europe. This has been a problem many decades in the making, writes Mr. Mim, but it's a problem rooted in disastrous decisions made by steel companies themselves when Trump was still in elementary school. Blame lies with U.S. manufacturers who held on to the so-called open hearth method of steel production decades after its expiration date. Europeans had no such attachment to the past. Perhaps many factories had been destroyed in the war. They had started experimenting with the idea of turning iron into steel by blasting pure oxygen onto the molten metal. This method, which became known as the basic oxygen process, first entered trial use in 1948 in a factory in Linz, Austria. Linz became something of an industrial mecca in the succeeding years as steelmakers the world over visited to see this new process firsthand. Most became immediate converts with good reason. The cost of building steel mills using the basic oxygen furnaces was 40 to 50% lower than conventional open hearth factories. Operating costs were 25% lower as well. But it was the productivity gains associated with the new process that should have really raised eyebrows. One factory that made the shift could produce 40 tons of steel per hour using the open hearth process, but after installing the basic oxygen equipment, it managed to quadruple that figure. Unfortunately, Big Steel was too proud to notice Europe gaining ground. In a typical advertisement from the era, U.S. Steel claimed it was a company where the big idea is innovation, but this claim could not hide a more disturbing reality. Indeed, throughout the 1950s, as Europe's steelmakers built new factories around the basic oxygen process and simultaneously demolished its remaining open hearth furnaces, Big Steel made endless excuses. Representatives of the Big Three, Bethlehem, U.S. Steel, and Republic, repeatedly claimed that the jury was out on the new method, all evidence to the contrary. So the point is, it could have gone differently. And it was steel industry executives that made the market decision they made, that made the business decision they made. And so now we're going to say not only should the steel industry be insulated from competition and present, we should have the government come in and protect them from the consequences of the decisions of the past that allowed European steelmakers, for example, to gain the ground they gained because they chose a different way of operating their mills, different way of producing steel. You see? So the government should come in and make it all better for one industry at the expense of the steel and aluminum using industries, which employ, as we've talked about, 60 times more people. Hurt them to protect somebody else. Jim in Glenview, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. When Trump was running, it was very clear what his economic platform was. He was going to say things that would be popular in swing states like Pennsylvania and Ohio, and he was also going to support people that supported him.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was going to favor certain industries like coal and steel, and that might be asinine economic policy, and I agree with you. It is, but it's what he said he was going to do.
Oh, I know.
When you look at his tax,
no, I know. You're right.
And when you look at his tax plan, he is crafting a tax plan that doesn't support wage workers. It supports people with wealth, people with investments. And so people who gave him a lot of money during the campaign are getting paid back.
Well,
I think
the tax plan has more benefits.
I think it's a really bad economic plan, but it's exactly what he said he was going to do. And so people like you who supported him in the general, this is what to get.
Well,
you got exactly what you voted for.
Well, there's no question, and I'm glad I did vote for him because I prefer this over socialism. I prefer dalliances with neo-mercantilism over full-on government-centric government-centric policies.
When you look at the critique of Clintonism, it was that they were pretending to do what you're saying they did.
No.
Who did the tariffs? It was Bush, it was Reagan, and Trump.
Yes, but I'm not talking.
The tariffs all came from Republican presidents.
Jim, not Smoot-Hawley. Jim, I'm not talking about Bill Clinton.
Well, that's 70 years ago.
Well, if you want to use this, I'm opposed to this policy. If you want to use historical examples, then they're all available for use. Number one. Number two, I'm not done talking. Number two, Hillary Clinton is not Bill Clinton in the 1990s. Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party is in the DLC of the 1990s. So to pretend like you can extrapolate from Bill Clinton's term what Hillary Clinton's would have been like is folly. Thanks for the call, Jim. So I'm not surprised. I'm not feigning surprise about Trump's neo-mercantilism. I don't agree with the policy. I didn't agree with it when he proposed it and talked about it in the campaign. So there's no question about it. But now we're debating the impacts, and we're going to have a conversation about the impacts so people maybe can understand that what may sound good, it may be good for a small group of people. It's going to be bad for a larger group of people. And Jim's commentary on the tax plan is completely wrong, but I don't have time for that. Justin in Pleasant Prairie, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on the show. Hey, I've kind of come full circle. I'm a 50-year-old guy, and I was trained in college as a, finance degree, University of Virginia. Had my nose buried in all of McConnell's economics books for all those years, and I was always a very capitalistic-oriented free trade guy, pretty much all my life. And if somebody couldn't make it, essentially that was pretty much their fault. And I still, to a great extent, really, really believe that. However, I think that over the decades, we've kind of gotten caught up in a lot of that. And a lot of us who have been really successful for 30 years in our various industries and what we've done with our personal lives have forgot that there is a huge swath of, I think, what Trump called the forgotten man out there. And so I think it's great to talk about division of labor and specialization and, nations doing what they're best at and importing what they're not good at, like steel and aluminum. But the truth is that there were huge communities in a lot of cities in a giant swath of this country that got devastated by, international competition and capitalism. And I think over the long haul, obviously that's healthy, right? Creative destruction, Schumpeter and all that.
Right.
But a lot of those communities don't have, if you're the guy that's a steel maker in Youngstown and your factory is shut down because the Chinese are dumping steel or whatever the reason is, that's all great for all the rest of us. what I think of as the elites to talk about, creative destruction and all that. But if you're that guy and it takes 20 years for the United States to get good at something else where we can employ your whole community that got wiped out, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, Justin, look, those are thoughtful comments, and I appreciate them. But here's what I would say. I'm not taking this from the elitist perspective or some kind of ivory tower economic analysis theorizing. I'm saying that what these policies do is forget more of the forgotten men and women than they remember. In other words, you create more of those people than you salvage. So that's not good policy.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you.
Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you. With a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future.
No.
Darn.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Will the country that supplies the most steel and aluminum to the U.S. be exempt? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Canada may avoid the tariffs President Trump insists must be imposed to protect American industries. Fox's John Decker's live at the White House.
President Trump said he'll meet with industry executives to discuss formally imposing tariffs. The president tweeting, looking forward to 3:30 p.m. meeting today at the White House. We have to protect and build our steel and aluminum industries while at the same time showing great flexibility and cooperation toward those that are real friends and treat us fairly on both trade and the military. The White House has said countries like Canada and Mexico may receive exemptions. Dave?
John, Florida Governor Rick Scott has a tough decision to make whether to sign a gun and school safety bill that includes a provision he's against.
I've been clear. I'm going to read the bill. I'm going to talk to parents. I've been clear. I don't believe we ought to be arming teachers.
The bill state lawmakers approved will also raise the age for buying rifles to 21 and impose a 3-day waiting period 3 weeks after the massacre at the high school in Parkland. In Birmingham, Alabama, police are calling a high school shooting yesterday an accident, but a bullet did kill a 17-year-old student.
This is someone's daughter, someone's niece, someone's best friend.
Mayor Randall Woodfin. Police won't say yet who brought the gun or what happened. Sources tell the Birmingham News a boy was showing it off when it discharged. There's a lot of plowing and shoveling in the Northeast. Some areas got more than 2 feet of snow.
I'm sick of it. I was sick of it after the first storm.
He's in Massachusetts. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses are without power. Pennsylvania to Maine. Some never got it back after last week's storm. A dog in Virginia is now locked up at a pound. The day after the pet, described as a large shepherd type, mauled an 8-day-old baby while she lay in a bassinet. The little girl died at a hospital hours later. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is looking into possibly filing charges. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Clouds and sun, 24 degrees. North winds at 10 give us a wind chill of 13 above. At 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Cook County judge ordering Mayor Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson to testify in wrongful death lawsuits brought by the families of Quintonio LeGrier and Betty Jones. A date for the deposition has not yet been set for Emanuel. Johnson will be deposed next week. Mayor Emanuel amplifying his demand that Governor Rauner sign a bill to require gun dealers to get a state license.
The two men were together to celebrate the opening of an AT&T call center when Emanuel handed Rauner a copy of a previously sent letter from himself and all 50 aldermen calling on him to sign the bill.
He has a responsibility to make this decision on behalf of all of us for the safety and security of the people of the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois.
Rauner later dodged a question about that bill.
I look forward to working with the mayor and all of our elected officials on a bipartisan basis to get good changes to keep our people safe.
Rauner has about 2 weeks left to act on the bill. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Illinois lawmakers could not tap taxpayer funds to settle sexual harassment complaints under legislation that moved to the House floor on Wednesday. Officials with the General Assembly claim it's never happened in Illinois, but Representative David McSweeney wants to avoid cases like those involving members of Congress whose use of tax dollars to cover settlements was exposed after the Me Too movement against sexual misconduct. The Democratically controlled Executive Committee endorsed McSweeney's measure unanimously. Chicago sports. Bulls beat the Grizzlies 119-110. Blackhawks wrap up a 2-game homestand against the Hurricanes tonight. The news, a service of Staples. At Staples, you can upgrade your office and still save money. And this week at Staples, you can save big on a full range of office and desk chairs, some up to 50% off. Better chair equals a better workday, ends 310 Staples. It's Pro Time. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Carol Zimmer.
From the Fox Business Network, President Trump is set to sign off on stiff tariffs on steel and aluminum imports this week. Many investors are concerned the tariffs will start a trade war. Now the White House says that close allies like Canada and Mexico will be exempted from the tariffs at first. Health insurance company Cigna is buying the pharmacy benefit manager Express Scripts for more than $50 billion in cash and stock. This is the latest in a series of deals in the healthcare industry. Regulators would have to sign off on the deal. It's International Women's Day. To honor the occasion, McDonald's is turning its golden arches upside down to form a W across the chain's digital channels. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Carol Zimmer.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
Over a half century ago, a respected firearms store started as a hobby to Mike Shrink. It now serves generations of customers. Of course, it's Shrink's Smoke and Gun. Customers love the family atmosphere and the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, including pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and even older functioning hunting rifles. Their on-site gunsmith services from simple cleaning to major repairs. Whether you're thinking about your first firearm or looking to add to your collection, visit Shrink's Smoke and Gun. And cigar lovers, you'll find your favorites in Shrink's humidors along with quality pipe tobacco. Visit smoketheletterngun.org or call 847-662-4034. And check Facebook and Instagram for all the current specials on firearms, ammo, and cigars. Take a quick drive north to save on Cook County firearm and ammo taxes at Shrink's Smoke and Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964.
It is 8:08, and let's get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy inbound. It's jammed. Austin, most of the way downtown. An hour and 20 minutes, O'Hare to the Circle. It's 50 minutes from Montrose, 45 on the Express. Outbound 39 minutes to the airport. Eden's 22 minutes from Lake Cook to the Kennedy. Outbound 30. The Eisenhower's the worst. An hour and 40 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour 20 from Manheim. Outbound 44 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 15 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 38 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 35 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 46. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, delays start around Bryn Mawr. It's 31 minutes, Hollywood to Monroe. Northbound slow from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State clogged up. The Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound 111th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Reagan Tollway delays. 25 to Wheelock, 83 to the Tri-State. Northbound Veterans Memorial. I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. Butterfield to St. Charles and North Avenue to 290. Northwest Indiana's fine. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A partly sunny day with a high 35, patchy clouds for the night, low 22. Partial sunshine tomorrow with a high 39 and patchy clouds at night, low 24. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy, high 42 and a low 29. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 24. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And Jeff Sessions in California yesterday delivering a message about the rule of law to the California political class that Governor Jerry Brown said was a declaration of war.
A little bit of hyperbole. But yeah, Jeff Sessions went to Sacramento, the capital of California, to let his message be heard loud and clear that they're filing a federal lawsuit against the state of California.
How dare you? How dare you needlessly endanger the lives of our law enforcement officers to promote a radical open borders agenda?
That was specifically directed at the mayor of Oakland, but really generally directed at the California political class. He mentioned the lieutenant governor, and of course, that starts with Governor Moonbeam.
Yeah, Governor Moonbeam, he saw this as a publicity stunt, but he did, Jeff Sessions did specifically name the mayor of Oakland.
Her actions support those who flout the law and boldly validates illegality.
And he said that because she apparently, they warn people before there's immigration raids. I don't know how they do it, if they do it via email or text message system, but they let them know that ICE is around and that I don't know if they should hide or just not answer their door. It's very strange what they've got going. So Jeff Sessions went there to put an end to it.
The Oakland mayor,
to try to.
The Oakland mayor said, I did what I believe was right for my community as well as to protect public safety. People should be able to live without fear or panic and know their rights and responsibilities as well as their resources. When she talked about, in response to his allegations about her interfering on behalf of persons here illegally, interfering into the work of ICE agents with respect to persons who are accused of crimes who are here illegally. That's how off the rails this is. And then you have the Oakland mayor, not unlike politicians in this state, Tiny Dancer, Ronner, suggesting that people should be able to live in fear without panic, live without fear or panic, and know their rights and responsibilities. Okay, well, what right do they have to be here? If we're going to talk about rights, none.
But the fact that their city, their local government is protecting them bothers a lot of people. But here's Governor Moonbeam. Well, that's what you call him. I call him Governor Brown.
This is really unprecedented for the chief law enforcement of the United States to come out to California and act more like Fox News than a law enforcement officer. This is a political stunt. It's more like Fox News and what's going on in Washington. And it's not about the truth. It's not about protecting our state. It's about dividing America.
Right. And Sessions is the propagandist, is he, Governor Moonbeam? Unprecedented, this move. Reading from a June 6, 2010 story by Reuters, Obama administration sues Arizona over immigration law.
Didn't Eric Holder travel to Phoenix? I thought that he did to make that lawsuit public.
Suing Arizona over the state's strict new immigration law, attempting to wrestle back control over the issue. This is with respect to the Arizona law requiring state and local police to investigate the immigration status of anyone they reasonably suspect of being an illegal immigrant. So the Department of Justice under President Obama intervened, and I don't recall the same allied interests arguing states' rights on behalf of Arizona that they're not now arguing for on behalf of California. Yeah. My interests change, my philosophy changes. That's the charlatan, that's the politically expedient, that's the left, and some who pretend to be in the center right, like Ronner, who are really not. And so the real question is, Attorney General Sessions, can't you make a stop in Chicago on your way back to D.C.?
Oh, that's
It's right on the way.
Can you imagine the protests that would happen if the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, came to Chicago, went to the Dirksen Federal Building, or did something just to, send the same message, to send this message to state officials?
Federal law determines immigration policy. State of California is not entitled to block that activity. Somebody needs to stand up and say, no, you've gone too far. You cannot do this. This is not reasonable. It's radical, really.
I mean, what is the difference between California and Illinois on this issue? We're both sanctuary states. Major cities are both sanctuary cities. You've got an ID that allows people here illegally to use to register to vote. And Jeff Sessions is the demagogue.
Is that ID out right now, by the way?
City Key.
City Key?
Yeah.
Just in time for the primaries.
And
wow, looky there.
Our friend John Cass at the Tribune writes about it today. Jeannie Ives, the conservative candidate for governor of Illinois, gets to the heart of the policies that are cynical, subversive, and designed to blur the distinction between the citizen and the non-citizen. Those policies are Mayor Rahm Emanuel's controversial city ID card that will be issued to citizens and non-citizens alike in a sanctuary city, and Republican Governor Bruce Rauner's signing of sanctuary state legislation. This is pandering. This is about political constituencies that they need to own or would like to own. It is, and the interests of those political constituencies subordinates the rule of law, subordinates the integrity of elections. And what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it in Chicago and Illinois? Let me tell you what I think we're going to do about it.
Okay, wait.
Nothing. That's what I think we're going to do about it. I think you're going to see the same people be leveled up by the same people. Because we have, we're very forgiving with respect to probationary periods and actual performance in office. If somebody's been doing it for a long time, that's their main qualification to continue doing it, like holding office. I mean, isn't that the history of Illinois, particularly the recent history? Daily, Rahm.
Rahm.
Right. Yeah, right. Well, right.
Because I don't think he's going to. Well, he's going to run again.
Big government Republicans that are complicit with Democrats. Illinois is the worst state in the nation in terms of its governance. Not close. The performance is across the political spectrum. And what percentage of incumbents do you think will be returned at all levels? Very difficult to take out incumbents because, people don't pay much attention.
But this election cycle, how many Republicans have decided not to run again?
15 House Republicans retired. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Of the 15 House Republicans who voted for the tax increase, 9 of them retired. 9 of them retired. So that's a lot. There's a lot of turnover. But a lot of this is turnover of people who are maxed out, who are just, and looking to cash out. I mean, David Harris, scumbag surrender Republican from Arlington Heights. 20 years in.
Wow.
Was just waiting to max out his pension. Then he left.
And how much money do they make a year?
$75,000.
But that's working what?
Vest. It's a part-time job.
Part-time job.
You vest for a pension after 10 years, lifetime health insurance.
Oh.
Part-time job.
That's a great gig.
That's why they don't want to leave until it's time to cash out.
Yeah.
Most of these people that are leaving, I think they're leaving because out of principle. They're
Or
leaving.
they're leaving because they want to spend more time with their family.
Yeah, they're leaving because they either have maxed out and are ready to cash out, or they're afraid to go through a brutal primary, which they would, and the ones who stayed, most of them are. Basically, thanks to people that are allied with me. But okay, they didn't want to do it, and they were afraid of losing the seat and afraid of getting pummeled with publicizing their conduct in the process of losing their seat. But that's it. So what are we going to do about it? I don't think we're going to do anything. Do you? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Tony on the south side.
Hey, Amy, Dan, what's up? Listen, when that vapid mayor of Oakland is talking about protecting her citizens and looking out for the rights of her citizens, was she talking about the American citizens that were born in this country? Or
No.
I'm confused.
No distinction.
Yeah.
There's no distinction.
No, that's where the problem is at.
Yeah.
That's exactly where the problem is, that these people that are in office that are following these policies forget about who the majority of the people are that they're supposed to be representing. It's not people that come across these borders illegally. It's people that are born in this country. When you start realizing that and there's going to be an uprising, you're going to see these people start, I'm hoping, start losing their positions.
Or, thanks for the call, Tony, or people who legally immigrate to this country. Absolutely. New Americans. All for it. Erasing the distinctions between people here illegally, particularly criminals, people who've committed violent crimes, and law-abiding citizens. Are you kidding? Oh, and here's why don't you go vote too while you're at it? I mean, they don't care because we don't make them care. And so Dennis McCann, Brian McCann's brother, is run down in the streets of Chicago by a person here illegally, who just came back illegally, who had just gotten off probation for another DUI. He's drunk, kills Dennis McCann, flees to Mexico. No consequences. And no consequences for the office holders who advance these policies either. Eric Brady's wife is coming home on New Year's Eve from being a bartender at the VFW, killed by an illegal immigrant from Guatemala, has been here illegally a number of times. He's drunk, driving the wrong way, kills her.
And nobody knows where he is because ICE didn't get him.
Because
we're a sanctuary state.
Because down in Champaign area, they didn't even detain him. That's
What?
vehicular homicide.
Even after the night that he killed her, they didn't detain him?
Brother comes in with bond money and he's gone.
Oh, my God.
So justice for Eric Brady's family, justice for Denny McCann's family, Brian McCann's family.
They even let him post bond?
No, but they don't care about
manning the shop?
They don't care about your family safety. They don't care. And you won't care, most of you, I know. Or not people listen to this show because you listen to the show because you do care, but people in your circles of influence who are ignorant, they don't care either. They won't care until it's visited upon them. And then they'll cry bloody murder. And what do we say to them? Welcome to the party. Alan in Rockford.
Morning, guys. It's a Facebook meme, but it bears repeating here. There's no more pervasive and obvious form of foreign government meddling in our affairs than allowing illegal aliens to vote in elections they should not be voting in. And Rahm Emanuel and Bruce Rauner and Jerry Brown are aiding and abetting this process. We need laws right now to stop the ability of illegal aliens from voting in our elections. It's special interest, and it's just going to cause destructive consequences if it's allowed to continue.
Thanks, Alan.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Special interest announcement brought to you by Caltrin.
Clean up on aisle 8.
Not again. It's your turn.
No way. I got the last one.
Fine. I just hope it's not a set of love handles.
That's nothing. Yesterday, I had to clean up some thunder thighs and a butt.
Oh my gosh. Ever since people started taking Calitrin, they've been dropping weight like crazy.
Started taking what?
Calitrin, you know, the healthy choice for weight loss.
So I got the Calitrin and I tried it and was amazed at how well it worked.
What are we talking to Gertz about?
My stomach. I got into pants that I had not been into in a year and a half. And it also took my hot flashes away. So it's been wonderful.
Hi, this is Brenda. I lost 50 pounds. I have regained my energy. I have regained some mental clarity. I enjoy life again. It's just been amazing. I recommend it to anybody and everybody.
Calitrin. Visit us on the web at toploss.com.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, M-U-E-L-L-E-R, CPA.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Bruce Rauner lies so much, he reminds us of another Chicago politician.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period.
No wonder Republicans are abandoning you.
The Republican floor leader in the Illinois House is now leading a revolt of social conservatives against the party's governor.
Jeannie Ives won't tolerate lies and has lived by the cadet code. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. And neither should you. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs, you complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
Gentlemen, when it comes to good health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested recently. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site laboratory, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can even raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low testosterone levels in men. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That's lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
I plan on taking this the rest of my life because until I started taking your stuff, I never took as many fruits and vegetables in a day as I get through you guys. You know, I'm very, very, very satisfied.
My pain and it went away. I swear to you that that's the truth.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Did you know you could be paying up to 80% less for your family's medications? How? With GoodRx. GoodRx compares prices of every FDA-approved drug at pharmacies in your area and offers free downloadable coupons at GoodRx.com, so you get the best deals on all your medications. You'd be surprised at how much the prices can differ, even at pharmacies on the same block. Last year, GoodRx saved Americans over $2 billion on their medications. Just text GoodRx to 99,000 to learn how to start saving money today. Imagine paying even less than your insurance copay. GoodRx can sometimes find you medications for free. There are never any fees and no personal information is ever required. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions and save up to 80% instantly by texting the word GoodRx to 99,000. That's GoodRx to 99,000. Save today. Text GOODRX to 99000.
Message and data rates may apply. You will receive up to 4 automated text messages per month from GoodRx.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and Governor Rauner is ducking Tiny Dancer on the issue of the new gun control legislation sent to his desk. We'll discuss it at 8:38, but now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
25 degrees. Skies are sunny at 8:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. New England getting slammed with another nor'easter today. The region still recovering from last weekend's deadly storm. More than 19 million people from Connecticut to Maine are under winter storm warnings today. A Missouri shootout that left an officer dead was the result of police going to the wrong house. Clinton officer Christopher Morton died Tuesday. Turns out a 911 call came from a home about 20 miles from where Morton was sent. Florida high school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz is being formally charged with 17 counts of murder. That indictment handed down by a grand jury yesterday for the Valentine's Day massacre. Meantime, in Parkland, Education Secretary Betsy DeVos says it's time to act there and around the country to make schools more secure.
There are solutions that can be engaged immediately, and there are some common sense steps that can be taken. We just need to make sure that we do them, not just talk about them.
A new bill in Florida raising the minimum age limit for buying guns to 21 is headed to Governor Rick Scott's desk. The head of the U.S. Forest Service is accused of sexual misconduct, and he is out. Forest Service Chief Tony Took announcing his immediate retirement last night. A Cook County judge is ordering Mayor Rahm Emanuel to give sworn testimony for 2 wrongful death lawsuits brought by victims of police shootings. Meantime, Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson will testify in the same cases. A date for Johnson's deposition has been set for next week. Authorities have identified the pregnant woman killed this week when a wheel hub came loose from a semi-tractor trailer and smashed into her windshield near Joliet. State police say the semi was traveling near Rowell Avenue when the lost hub slammed into the windshield of Melinda Cullen's vehicle. The impact killed Cullen and her unborn son. Approximately 318 bobcats were killed in Illinois during the hunting and trapping season that just finished in the state. 1,000 permits were issued. State law prohibits the taking of bobcats in 33 of 101 counties. Bulls winners over the Grizzlies last night, 119-110. College hoops, big comeback in the ACC basketball tournament for Notre Dame. Irish rallying from 21 down to beat Virginia Tech, 71-65. The news, a service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken. Rocket Mortgage is simple. You can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, Understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshawforcongress.com.
8:35. Let's get a check on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. It is heavy on the inbound Kennedy with delays from Foster to Fullerton, and it's still slow into downtown. An hour and 18 minutes is the travel time. O'Hare to the Bird Circle. 50 minutes from Montrose, 45 in the Express. Outbound 16 minutes to Montrose, 37 to the airport. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 30. The Eisenhower, an hour and 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour 15 from Manheim, outbound 40 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35 minutes. Ryan, 40 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Tri-State southbound, bumper to bumper from the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to Lawrence. Clear sailing on the Adams Tollway. Reagan Tollway still a bit sluggish, Farnsworth to Wheeler. Northbound Veterans Memorial slope out into the Reagan Tollway. Roosevelt to St. Charles and North Avenue to 290. Southbound 53, tight Palatine to Kirchhoff. No delays to report on I-80 or Northwest Indiana. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A chilly day ahead, partial sunshine, a high of 35. And we'll get cold again overnight, a low of 22. Currently 25. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Joe Walsh here. There are reports that Republicans want to push gun control in Congress next week. If they do that, they won't be in control of Congress next year. We'll talk about it when freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so on the matter of guns, that's being taken up again in the Illinois General Assembly today. Also, there's legislation on Governor Rauner's desk that would impose new oversight and regulation on gun dealers statewide. This would create an administrative body that would have open-ended rulemaking power to impose a gun registry other strictures with respect to the operation of other federally licensed, legitimate, law-abiding businesses.
Mhm.
And Governor Rauner won't come clean on what he's going to do about that bill.
No, and basically they have to get licensed again by this another government-run agency and pay $1,000 every 5 years to renew the license. And Governor Rauner was in the same room, Dan, yesterday as Mayor Emanuel. You know, the wine club buddies weren't talking, though. They were 20 feet away from each other. And Mayor Emanuel brought a blue envelope with Governor Rauner's name on it to leave it there, just a letter saying that you should act now on gun legislation.
Sign the bill. Sign it immediately. You can run, but you cannot hide.
I mean, that is a line from a song. You can run, but you cannot hide. And he
You
didn't
can
stop
run,
them. You can run, but you can't escape
my love. That's Julia. That's Enrique
How it
Iglesias.
goes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's you. I'm not gonna.
Here we go.
You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love. No, I think it's love with those two, and I think he should have said so.
But he did another play on words. I think he's hanging out with the Reverend Jackson because he talked about
Not a reverend.
the primaries and what's the primary concern.
I understand you have a primary election, but you have a primary responsibility to the people of the state of Illinois and their safety.
Are they in a library? Why is he whispering?
Because Rauner's seriously standing 20 feet away from him.
So
And
what? We can't talk at a room tone?
They just hand notes, like they hand notes in class. Like, here's this. I want you to sign this. Here's a copy of the bill.
Go give this to him.
Shh,
Don't tell it it's from me.
We secretly replaced his coffee with Folgers crystals. So Governor Rauner, I mean, this is so
It's
stupid.
like
These are
These
two
people
high school
are
girls.
so fracking stupid and cowardly. I can't wrap my head around
All
it.
right, so Governor Rauner, so reporters finally confronted him, and he gave the nervous, canned answer.
I look forward to working with the mayor and all of our elected officials on a bipartisan basis to get good changes to keep our people safer.
Okay. Well, are you going to sign it? What are you going to do? What's your main priority? Governor Rauner?
We also should come together on something I think we can all agree on, and that is banning bump stocks.
Yeah.
I believe we can all agree on that. We should get that done.
Yeah. That's not the issue. The issue is the gun licensing bill.
Yeah, he has 60 days to decide whether or not he'll sign it. But, of course, the primary is in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's going to run the four corners on it. And then he'll sign it if the Republican primary electorate is ignorant enough to renominate him. If the Republican primary electorate says, we surrender, the way that Rauner and the leadership of the Republican Party has surrendered to Democrats, then no problem. He will accept your surrender to him, and he will then pay it forward by surrendering to Chicago Democrats on guns, like he has on sanctuary state, like he has on taxpayer funding of abortion, like he has on property tax caps, much less freezes, like he has on income tax hikes, like he has on bailing out the Chicago public school system. Shall I continue, or do you get the picture?
We get the picture.
Mike in Oswego. I'm whispering like Rom. Mike in Oswego, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
My curiosity, and I don't know where to look for the answer. I've tried, and I can't find any.
Mm-hmm.
If they propose this, no one from 18, 19, or 20 can purchase a rifle and or a gun. If it passes, if that's one of their proposals and it passes, does that mean that all 18, 19, and 20-year-olds who now own a rifle and or a gun, will they be confiscated?
Yeah, that's what it means. At least that's according to Michelle Mussman, one of these Madigan suck toys from Schaumburg there. She's out in the suburbs. She's a Democrat. That's exactly what she said to that question. Yep, does.
Unbelievable.
No,
Okay,
it's believable.
thank you.
Welcome to the party. Thanks for the call, Mike. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the state of Illinois. Don't, whatever you do, however upset you are, don't do anything different. Don't vote for anybody different. Don't change. No, don't. Sean in Elmwood Park.
You know, Prof, I like when they stand together because I grew up in the 70s. Best TV ever, okay? And it's not just the Jolly Green Giant and the Little Sprout. I keep waiting for Emmanuel to point up and go, they're playing, boss, they're playing, because it'll solve all their policy issues. That's where it is. It's Fantasy Island, Chicago, where they both have pretty much the same answer. Just keep spending the money and everything is going to be fine. But more importantly, I had to stay in the house a little longer than normal this morning, and I was watching all the hermaphrodite newscasters with their pink ties. It's International Women's Day.
Oh.
And I didn't hear one Chicagoan, which, by the way, explains why Telemonte's so busy, because I'm out in this traffic, and it's the one on the right, ladies, the long one. But I didn't hear one newscaster talk about the only woman, not just running to unseat the incompetent 7-foot stupid Rauner, but the one woman running for governor in the country. And not one newscaster on any one of these channels, which apparently has a phenomenal buffet system in the morning, not one of them mentioned Jeannie Ives.
Thanks for the call, Sean, and for recognizing International Women's Day.
What are you doing for me?
Yeah.
International Women's Day, by the way, McDonald's, a lot of them have flipped their iconic golden arches to represent a W. So it went from they say man to woman. Oh.
Okay.
So everybody go buy your burgers. Let's go.
With respect,
get your Shamrock Shakes.
With respect to Ives, by the way, she doesn't count as a woman because she's conservative. You know that. Conservative women are not recognized as women. Not by the D.C. Press Corps, not by the Chicago Press Corps, not by the Springfield Press Corps, not by the political elites. So that's why you're not going to get a mention.
Take the sign and flip the dummy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that would take a lot of work to get up there and
maybe
a cherry picker and flip it and use the.
Maybe they just do it digitally.
No, I've got pictures where they actually would start on the West Coast.
Oh boy, it's fantastic.
Buy your burgers. Get yourself a quarter pounder with cheese, big meal, supersize it.
It's a very special day. By the way, just on the gun issue with respect to Ives and Rauner, it is worth noting, and you can look this up, in terms of if you think Governor Rauner won't consummate his string of betrayals by also betraying gun owners. This is about rights now. It's not just about money. About rights we're talking about. But I know, people don't care.
I did want to tell you your new favorite legislature.
Okay.
She's from Florida, real quick.
Can I finish my
point?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, you're still talking. I'm not done yet.
Okay. The NRA questionnaires that candidates can fill out, so you get a sense of where these candidates are on issues related to your individual right of self-protection. Okay. Rauner didn't fill out the NRA questionnaire in 2014, and he hasn't, and he won't fill it out in 2018.
Maybe he can get Diane to do it.
Perhaps, although I don't think the answers would serve him very well that Diana would have. Jeannie Ives, by contrast, is A-rated each cycle that she's run as a state legislator and won. So again, in terms of, what you want to believe and what behavior indicates, just a little bit more for the evidentiary record for your consideration.
Quickly, there's a woman in Florida, because they're having the gun debate down there about, in the Florida State Senate, a bill passed earlier this week to raise the purchasing age from 18 to 21. It's having a harder time in the Florida House. And one pretty brave Republican, Elizabeth Porter, she lashed out at all the children who are trying to have a say in the future of Florida.
We've been told that we need to listen to the children. I do what the children ask. Are there any children on this floor? Are there any children making laws? Do we allow the children to tell us that we should pass a law that says no homework? Or you finish high school at the age of 12 just because they want it so? No. The adults make the laws because we have the age, we have the wisdom, and we have the experience.
Isn't that great? I thought of you when I heard her rant yesterday.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, let's pass the law. I said, no homework. Yay!
I wish ice cream for dinner by law.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because the kids.
Dessert before dinner, everybody wants it.
I wish we had adults in Illinois in charge of things, but of course we don't. Donna in Batavia.
Hi there. First-time caller here. I was just wondering if Jeannie Ives does get elected to be governor, would she be able to reverse any of these decisions that Rauner has made?
Thanks for the call, Donna.
The sanctuary state?
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, so here's the deal. That was passed by the General Assembly. By the way, 67 of 73 legislative Republicans voted against it. Rauner signed it. So she's got obviously an overwhelming supermajority of Republicans behind her. Obviously, it would be more difficult to get Democrats on board given where their party's at these days, particularly Chicago Democrats. However, I think you can get some downstate Democrats on board to repeal sanctuary state. And I also think that you need to narrow the margins or change over control of the House and the Senate that is currently controlled by Madigan and Cullerton, Chicago Democrats. And so, the governor can't do anything alone. But the governor, which is why what Rauner did is so pernicious, because if he vetoed it, they wouldn't have had the votes to override his veto. But it's a lot easier to undo it because then you need the General Assembly to pass it and send it to the governor's desk now. So it's a combination of coalition building and, frankly, sending more conservative reform Republicans to the state house. Appreciate the call, Donna. Vince in St. Charles.
Hi, guys. Enjoying the show. I drink wine, and you said the mayor and the governor are a member of the wine club. You're putting me with them. I'm kind of not going to drink wine anymore.
Are you in $100,000 wine club?
No.
Then
you're safe.
Yeah,
Drink
then it's
up,
different.
buddy.
Yeah, then it's different.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Vince.
All right, thanks, guys.
Jim in Chicago.
How you doing? There was a guy earlier that was talking about Australia and statistics and everything. Long story short, it's an island. Number two, if you look at statistics, since they enacted the gun confiscation, violent crime has gone up tremendously in Australia compared to what it was beforehand.
Yeah, that's right, and particularly in the schools, by the way. We were talking about this off air with Mike Scott, and the stats in the schools in terms of the incidence of violence. Now it's knives and bottles and other instruments than guns. But it's still violence, so it's not an instrumentality issue. It's a behavioral issue, and Australia can't escape that either. Even though they, as you say, not just an island, but they present completely different demographics and challenges than we have in America. Thanks for the call, Jim. And the idea of confiscating guns, even rifles owned by 18 to 21-year-olds, much less moving on the entire American populace and the 300 million plus guns in circulation. If you think that's a good policy, that's fine. It's okay. It's a position you can hold. I'd love to hear a plan for implementation and what you think the implications of trying to implement that would be.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today. Our nation is deeply divided. Gone are the days when civil discourse bridged the gap between the two sides. If we'll ever find common ground, we must get beyond the talking points. AM 560, The Answer, is bringing together two of America's sharpest political minds from opposite sides of the aisle. She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazile will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. He's one of the sharpest conservative minds in Illinois. He has years of experience as a political strategist and pundit, including his own run for governor. Beyond the talking points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazile. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by AM Woodland Outdoor Design and by 1-800-4-BLINDS Chicago. Blinds, shades, and shutters.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for upstream-ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do, and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust